following is a special presentation of ABC Sports.
This is Old Main, the original building in the heart of the campus of Penn State University. 1861, the first graduating class came out of this old building, 11 people. Well, today, Penn State University claims over 300,000 living alumni. The opponent in the football game being played on this campus today is Michigan. Michigan claims more than 330,000 living alumni. These two schools are well represented around the world. Now, Michigan has played 1,010 college football games. They've won 734. That's the most in Division 1A. Penn State is fifth among the all-time wins in this category. Today, the Penn State Nittany Lions will have their 1,000th college football game. And believe it or not, finally Michigan is the opposition. These two teams have never before met. So come on, let's go watch some college football history. As ABC Sports College Football presents, in association with the College Football Association, a Big Ten matchup. The Michigan Wolverines and the Penn State Nittany Lions. Now for the next installment in our continuing feature on what's new in the world of sports science and technology.
A look behind the scenes as sports and science converge, brought to you by AT&T. Inline skating is the nation's fastest-growing recreational sport. The newest innovation is an advanced braking technology designed to give beginners an easy way to learn and to provide speed control for advanced skaters. Rather than lifting the wheels off the ground to stop, the new brake system relies on the more natural proactive stance, which triggers the rear cuff to apply downward pressure on the brake pad.
Why haven't you called your parents lately?
I lost the phone once under some clothes.
I got hit in the head in football practice.
Locust.
I've been studying.
Came through the window.
2 feet of snow. I lost my voice.
Little green man.
Bigfoot came in.
They're not lies, they're excuses.
You may have a lot of excuses not to call, but price isn't one of them anymore.
Oh.
Introducing a new way to call collect from AT&T. Just spell it out. Dial 1-800-OPERATOR. There's no lower price for a collect call.
Is my mother gonna see this though?
More Americans trust Napa for everything they need to keep their vehicles running and to help them save, too. Pick up these halogen headlights as low as $4.99. Napa antifreeze is just $1.99 after rebate. And this Napa power battery is only $29.99 after rebate. So run into your nearest Napa Auto Parts store today.
We keep America running. We keep America running.
Tuesday, Kelly takes on a crooked cop.
This is no good.
Will the guys on the force turn against him?
Got a problem with that. You can see me in the parking lot.
NYPD Blue Tuesday. Viewer discretion advised.
And now for something different.
Domino's new thin crust pizza.
It's really something.
A crispy, crackly, crunchy crust pizza. It's a whole nother taste in a whole nother way.
Now that's something.
Try it now and you'll also get
something for nothing when you call Domino's.
Buy a medium extra crispy thin crust pizza with 1 or more toppings and get 2 cans of Coke Classic free. Or buy a large and get 4 cans free.
You're only young once, so do something impulsive. Grab a friend, get into a Jeep Wrangler, and have some fun. Lease the original top-down off-road machine with 0 down and just $192 a month. And the legend can be yours. It's a limited time offer, so hurry. You're only young once. Live a little. It's the least we can do for you at your Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Nobody's going to give us the Nobel Prize for designing a filtering system for Sunoco gasoline. But this filter keeps particles that can find their way into gasoline from finding their way into your engine. We've been told we're a tad obsessive. Tell that to the guy on the side of the road with a clogged fuel line.
And now, team, here's the play. Get in your cars and run straight to a Sunoco station. Fill up with Super or Ultra 94 and get a college logo glass free.
Detroit Lion Chris Spielman, Sunday on Sports Update on 7.
The Nittany Lions, always formidable, and especially in their Happy Valley. 5-0 this season, ranked 7th in the AP poll, Joe Paterno's 28th season. the inaugural season for Penn State in the Big Ten Conference. Tied at the top of the standings with Ohio State and Wisconsin. They have beaten Minnesota and Iowa. And Penn State has a favorable schedule for the rest of the way, especially if they can get past the Michigan Wolverines today. Hello again, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson, along with Bob Greasy. Lynn Swan will be heard from in just a moment. Bob, first off, let's talk about this home field advantage for Penn State.
Well, not only the home field, but they've had 2 weeks to prepare. If Michigan loses this game, the pressure is really on them because 2 conference losses and their hopes for a title is out. It's a character check today for the Wolverines.
The Penn State Lions have always come to the ball yard with a good running game. They have it again this year, and that is aimed right at a basic weakness of Michigan, the interior defense.
Well, the problem there is 5 inside linebackers for Michigan are out with injury, including Steve Morrison, who has been their leading tackler the last 2 years. That's a critical area.
Joe Paterno said yesterday they might want to find out just how good Todd Collins is.
Well, Michigan has to be able to run the football, to take some pressure off of Collins. He started 8 games in his career, but only 2 on the road, and this place can be awfully loud.
This is the top of a college football doubleheader. Games following are these, and they are very, very important because they are all conference games and matching teams that could win a championship.
Things haven't been that great with Steve and me for a while, so it's not a total surprise.
Believe me, it's still a little scary being on your own now. You really need to start thinking about money.
I haven't begun to think about that.
When I went through this, I sat down with a broker over at P. Weber. He looked at what I had, and we came up with a plan that basically just let me get on with my life.
And how did he know what you needed?
Fortunately for me, he asked.
Americans have always had a love affair with their cars.
Do you love? Who do you love? Yeah, who do you love?
And when it comes to plugs and filters, we guarantee to keep that spark going for a long, long time.
Do you love? Yeah, who do you love?
Over 1.5 million vacationers toured the canals of Venice last year. Not one of them, however, was a Lexus engineer. Why? Let's just say they were busy. The 1994 Lexus ES, improved, revised, refined. In a word, new.
Brute. Men are back.
You should hear what they're saying about the Colonel's rotisserie gold. Slow roasted to a golden brown. The Colonel's rotisserie gold. At KFC, we do chicken right.
Welcome back to Beaver Stadium. Now, the home field advantage has yet to be determined this afternoon because it's a new field. 3 weeks ago against Rutgers, this field came up in big chunks. It wasn't fit for groundhogs, gophers, or squirrels, let alone lions or wolverines. But since that time, a new side field has been laid down. Now, it has its problem. It's lumpy in parts, it's kind of soft. The Michigan team came in with 2 different pair of cleats, trying to find the right one for this surface. And the first time any football team was on this field was for a walkthrough just yesterday. So keep an eye on this field, Keith, to see how it handles the responsibilities of these big young men.
We're kind of fortunate, Swanee, that we're going to have a dry day. The temperature's going to get up into the high 60s before the afternoon is done, and the sun right on cue comes out bright and strong. This is the first time that we have seen the sun today. It was so foggy this morning you couldn't land an airplane and could hardly drive a car. Penn State will kick off to the Michigan Wolverines, and deep people are for Michigan are Tyrone Wheatley, number 6, and Derek Alexander, number 1, and Brett Conway, a freshman from Lilburn, Georgia, kicks it off for the Lions. The first time ever these fabled institutions have met in the game of football. And it's a good return for the Wolverines, back to the 28-yard line for Derek Alexander. Now, the people in the trigger positions in this ball game, Todd Collins Number 10, you see that he's thrown only 6 interceptions and 279 attempts. He's a junior. 3 of those interceptions came against Notre Dame. The backs and receivers in the ball game for Michigan, of course, Tyrone Wheatley is the key man. Derek Alexander is back healthy, one of the best wideouts in the country when he is healthy. And here's your first play of the ball game with Wheatley lined up as the deep man out of the formation. And they send the tight end, number 80, moving behind the quarterback. Back and forth he goes like a windshield wiper. They give the ball to Wheatley, and Wheatley breaks it over the left side. And this is the man that kept Joe Paterno and his staff awake all week long. He's one of the great running backs in the country. The offensive front for Michigan, Runyon, Miller, Milia, Marinaro, and Sullivan. There are no returning starters in that offensive front, and they have not gelled as yet. But getting Milia back from injury is a great big plus, because Mark is the guy that calls the blocking assignments once the play has been called. He's the leader of the offensive front. It is a first down on the initial run by Wheatley out to the 41-yard line, and the Wolverines moved too soon. Mike Sullivan, the right side, a redshirt freshman, seemed to be the man who moved too soon. The referee is Jim Kimmerling. The Penn State defense will line up with Lou Benfatti leading the 4 down linemen, and these guys are about as good as anybody's. I mean, they are really outstanding. 2 of those the Penn State linebackers are ex-quarterbacks, Gelheiser and Holmberg, and the defensive secondary is made up of a bunch of headhunters. I mean, they will knock your hat off if you get in their neighborhood. But we look forward to an old-fashioned head-knocking football game this afternoon in Happy Valley. First down and 15 after the penalty. Here's another flag thrown, and the running play is good to the 40-yard line with Wheatley carrying. And once again, the referee, Jim Kimmerling, steps up, and I think this time it was Tyoka Jackson who got caught in the neutral zone. Offside, Penn State. Gary Moeller, who is a bit beleaguered this year because there was so much conversation coming into this season that Michigan was capable of challenging for the national championship. But he's had so many injuries and lost so many people. 5 linebackers alone are gone. The offensive line has not come together as yet. A lot of factors involved, and of course, Joe Paterno is in fact a living legend in this part of the country. John Ritchie is in the backfield now for the Michigan Wolverines, the up man, number 40, and Collins' first pass of the day, swung out for Wheatley. This is what they'll do with him. Derek Pana comes up, and the strong safety, or the hero back as they call him, gets enough of Wheatley to take him down. That time you saw a little bit of that turf chunk up when he made his cut.
Collins has got to have a good day, and we mentioned in the opening that the running game needs to be productive, at least to take some pressure off of him. If they can't get the ball to Wheatley running the ball, the little swing pass, as you saw in that last play, will be very productive.
It is 2nd down and 7 now after we finally get a play off without a penalty, and that's Walter Smith in motion, handed to the up man, John Ritchie. Ritchie is a freshman from Mechanicsburg, PA. He got away and went off to Michigan to play his football.
Story of the game for Michigan: can their offensive line control a very strong and tough defensive line? That defensive line is 5th in the nation against the run. And for Penn State, their 3rd rushing offense in the nation against that battered Michigan front. That'll be the story today.
Wheatley and goes into a flank position. Shea Foster is the single back as they spread him out with this alignment. Todd Collins to throw it down the pipe. There's Derek Alexander, a catch at the Penn State 35-yard line in front of Shelly Hammonds. First down, Wolverines.
Hammonds, an outstanding coverage guy. This is just good coverage. Hammonds can't do anything more than this. 3 deep zone. Alexander keeps it wide to the outside of the field, and the ball is thrown wide. That's also like a curl, or it's called a wide slant or a wide post to keep it away from the free safety. 2 for 2 for Collins.
The ball rests right on the 35. First down for the Wolverines. Mercury Hayes is the man in motion. He's the speedster. Give the ball to Ricky Powers. And Ricky Powers, the senior out of Akron, will pick up 3 yards down to the 32-yard line. Last week in the game and the loss at Michigan State, the Wolverines ran the ball 23 times and gained a mere 33 yards.
23 times in a game. Rushing for Michigan is an all-time record low. And 33 yards production on the ground is the first time in, well, 28 years that they gained that few yardage in a ball game.
2nd down and 7. Those wideouts are going to be tired time today over all that motion stuff. That ball is drilled sharply, caught by Amani Toomer, number 18, the sophomore from Concord, California. He went down, made his plant in front of Marlon Forbes, the cornerback on the field side, and it's another Michigan first down. So they are marching down the field.
2 well-coached teams, Keith, and 2 teams offensively for Michigan. They're doing what they need to do, throwing the ball, playing pitch and catch and running. Defensively for Penn State, they're not doing anything aggressively, setting back. They're not making any mistakes. They may start attacking in this area, though.
The first down snap is at the 22-yard line. Wheatley. Nope. They'll call him down after a yard. Shelly Hammonds came over. Bonner, the strong safety, committed early and plugged the inside lane for Wheatley, and he had to go all the way to the sideline. First possession of the game. Penn State is yet to have the ball. No gain on the play. Call it 2nd down and 10. And in fact, the ball looks to me like it's closer to the 23 now than the 22. And Wheatley is the single back. There's some room in the middle. And the gain is to the 19. Holmberg, Rob Holmberg, who transferred over to Penn State from the Naval Academy. And the reason he did it, basically, is because the cuts that were being imposed on the military, he didn't see that much of a career future. So he changed course. The top 25 today, those teams are idle today. And in the case of Miami, they're happy to get some time off. Penn State had an open week to prepare for Michigan, and after this game, they have an open week to prepare for Ohio State. Jim Kimmerling calls time. It is his timeout. Collins. Swanee. Lynn Swan.
Well, Keith, the official called the timeout because coming into this end zone, the student section sits right to the left of the Michigan offense, and they are making a tremendous amount of noise. That is going to be a factor throughout the ball game. So what they're going to have to do is call a play that will work in all circumstances, and the receivers will have to look in for the snap of the ball.
That's what got Joe upset.
There's no reason for the referee to come in and call the timeout if the crowd's too loud. I thought maybe they were covering up the 25-second clock.
Yeah, this is something you got to live with. It's like that. And Kimmerling now is going to take another one because Collins is saying people can't hear me.
Well, this is the old crowd noise rule, Keith, in college football. If you can't hear, this is what their official does. First time, it's a referee's timeout. Second time, referee's timeout. Captains in public address announcer notify the crowd. The third time, it's a timeout or a 5-yard penalty if timeouts are exhausted. And then a 5-yard penalty each additional time.
Well, I'm going to have to take off my headset just to hear the crowd.
There is some kind of public address announcement going on right now, but I don't know how much effect it's going to have on the fans. Of course, the defensive players asking them to be quiet.
Now Kimmerling has said to Collins, run the play. Run the play. Stop begging. Run the play. Now you can charge Michigan with a timeout, can he?
Yep. It's the third one.
Timeout, Penn State.
He did
charged Penn State with a timeout.
The charge timeout.
Yep. That's got Joe steaming. He wants to talk to the official, but his timeout is charged against Penn State.
Most car owners praise the quality of their purchases. But only one car line has been ranked best overall in initial quality by J.D. Power and Associates. Lexus. So the question isn't whether you put your car on a pedestal, but how often. And the Lexus LS is thousands less than the leading European competition at your Lexus dealer.
We'll be back after these messages. The rush is on for the incomparable GE Profile refrigerator. The GE Profile is full of smart ideas, like a shelf that tucks away for tall things, and shelves that glide out so you can find things. It's called Smart Space Design. Smart ideas that let you put things in, take things out, and clean things up so quickly and easily that you'll never again miss your favorite commercials.
Wouldn't it be great if you were stranded on a desert island with a beautiful woman named Betty? Cool. And while scouting the island, you were suddenly surrounded. You! But then, they noticed your shoes. You! Great one! Booga, booga! So they gave you gifts. Keystone! Keystone, Keystone Light, and Keystone Dry. Specially lined for really smooth. Bottle beer taste in can! Quitting time! Wouldn't that be great?
Big Ten Power Ohio State hosts rival Michigan State. Tennessee takes on number 2 Alabama, or other key regional action next on ABC's College Football.
I tell you one thing, that none of these officials have gone anywhere near that man.
Well, let me say this. I think Gary Moeller and the offensive staff have schooled and prepared Todd Collins for this eventuality, because as soon as the crowd noise got too loud, Collins knew exactly what to do. The official stepped in, and this is the first time that I've ever seen this call. The crowd is not as loud this time.
Well, he needs to just go on first sound and get the play in motion, and that'll get a big play out of it, and that'll set him up. That play is inside the 15-yard line. Brian Gelsheiser bringing Tyrone Wheatley down, and that'll look like 2 yards needed on 4th down coming up. We've been here so long arguing about crowd noise that it's you almost lose track of where you are, but we have now come to a 4th down and 2, and that's going to get Elezovic in the ball game. Peter Elezovic will come in. He's 3 out of 7 in his field goal tries, and he's 0 for 2 from this distance, 30 to 39 yards. This will be a 31-yard field goal try. So Michigan trying here to get on the board with the field goal. No pressure on it. It is hooked off to the left side, so Elezovic misses the extra point. So a bit of an entertaining and adventurous first possession by the Michigan Wolverines, and now Penn State is going to get the football finally.
That is a big miss, Keith. Michigan coming off of a surprising loss at Michigan State last week, had a good drive going. Their offensive line was dominating the defensive line. Moeller on 3rd down decided to go for a running play, get it in front of the goalpost, make it an easier kick, get on the scoreboard first, and this kicker kicks it to the left, and the momentum that he would have had now is gone, and Penn State has the ball.
At the 20-yard line with Kerry Collins at quarterback. Kajana Carter is number 32, and Brian O'Neill is 29. That familiar set. They throw it on first down to O'Neill out of the backfield, and he will be just short of the first down at the 29. Kerry Collins, 6'5", 235, a junior from West Lawn, Pennsylvania. There are his 1993 stats. And he had won the job. John Sacco quit school. He's now the man. Bobby Ingram has caught 26 balls so far this season. He is their principal speedster. LaBarca can run, but Ingram is the man they look for. And there's Bobby. They beat on you with that running game and then let it fly to him, and it works. Shaking off the tackler behind the line of scrimmage. Kajana Carter, a junior from Westerville, Ohio, makes it first down Penn State at the 38. The offensive front for Penn State is a pretty good one. No real whoop-de-doo hot dog All-Americans up there. Just good, solid, well-trained football players.
Solid.
I'm not saying that some of them aren't All-Americans. I'm merely saying that they're all pretty good.
They may well be in the years to come. They're all young.
Here's Collins on a roll to the right. Whistles run to the sideline, and the pass is caught just short of midfield by Chip LaBarca, the senior from Bayville, New Jersey. The Michigan defensive unit will line up this way, and they're weak in the middle. Tony Henderson or whoever's in there at nose tackle has got to have a good day today if they're going to handle this Penn State running game. Matt Dyson's another guy that's got to step up and play well.
Dyson's been injured, needs to play well.
Secondary's pretty good. They can run with almost anybody. First down, Penn State just short of midfield. No score, first quarter. Michigan missing on a field goal try. Here comes Carter. These Michigan defensive people are going to learn early that these Penn State running backs are tough guys. I mean, you can't arm tackle them. You got to wrap them. They're going to break loose and go.
This was a little toss to the tailback, but it was designed to go inside. Now watch, straight blocking everywhere. The play is defensed pretty well, but Powers 95. There was a crack there, and he just didn't fill the crack. The linebacker, inside linebacker, the spot where Morrison, who is injured, would have been.
Mike Archie, number 2, is now in. Carter is out for a breather. He's put him in position here with the first down. And Terry Collins throws. Pass caught by Archie out of the backfield. He goes down at the 11-yard line. And now let's check in for the first time with John Saunders.
And Keith, Syracuse and Pittsburgh. Marvin Graves was actually knocked out of the game with a bruised shin. He's back now. But this is Jay Jones, who grabs the punt and takes off 84 yards for the Panthers. Not touched to the end zone. And Pitt, trying for the upset, has a 7-0 lead. Keith.
11-yard line. It is second down and 4 for Penn State. They're threatening to score the first points of the ball game. Gajarner is back in, and Carter slams it into the middle. Trying for his first down. He's going to come up short. He got just over the 10. So it's the Penn State running game with you notice that Collins came out in the early part of this possession, put the ball in the air. That spread them out.
That's good thinking. Penn State in the Big Ten. They're right up there in every offensive category except passing. They are last in passing and first in rushing, as I mentioned, averaging nearly 300 a game.
It is third down and 3 from the 10. Collins rolls out. He's got his first down. That's what he wanted. If he couldn't get in, he'd take the yardage for the first down, and it's first and goal at the Michigan 7.
Well, that's a nice call. Fran Ganner, the offensive coordinator, along with Joe Paterno. Of course, these plays, the first 10, 15, or 20 are scripted. 3 wide receivers to the wide side of the field. Collins breaks containment of Dyson, gets outside. Now it's an option. He tells Archie, I'm going to run it. It's not that far. I can make the first down. That's a good call.
Carter is the deep back. He's got it. Squirts inside the 5 and goes down to the 2. He just kind of wedged himself off Malinowski and Pickett. He just squirted through there.
Both teams took their opening kickoff and have moved right down the field. Michigan missed their short field goal, and Penn State now inside the 5-yard line.
John Carter 32, Brian O'Neill 29, and Brian Milton is number 22. And this is O'Neill, and a penalty flag. Let's see if they made a mistake in the shadow of the goal line. It's against Penn State. Somebody moving. Concentration. Such a vital thing when you're down this close under this kind of pressure, and particularly early in a ball game.
Joe's been around 28 years at Penn State. He is the winningest active Division 1A coach. 28 years. That you got to add 16 years additional to that.
5 yards, repeat, second down.
5-yard penalty. I was going to say that Paterno had been at Penn State for 44 years. He was there 16 years before he became the head coach.
The ball comes back to the 8-yard line where it is second down and goal. Carter and O'Neal are the running backs. Kerry Collins looks to throw it, does throw it, and his arm was hit just as he turned it loose, and it flutters away, incomplete, and it was Bobby Powers that got a piece of the quarterback as he tried to get the ball to Bobby Ingram.
Michigan not sitting back. One of the things they're going to do is bring their strong safety. He's going to blitz on the outside. The route now is a little slant, and Collins does the right thing in throwing the same way the blitzer's coming from. See the big hole that's up there? The blitzer comes, creates a hole. If you throw the ball before the safety gets there, the safety blitzer, you're in good shape.
Collins rolls it out, goes back the other way, throws the ball for Archie. Archie didn't look back. Archie was looking to block Chuck Winters, never looked for the ball, and it's incomplete. So Penn State got inside the 10-yard line with a first and goal, and then lost their poise and did not come off very well. Craig Fayak will come into the ball game and try a field goal now, and he is on his way to becoming perhaps the leading scorer in the history of the school. He's already the leading place kicker, having passed Massimo Manca. This will be a 25-yarder. 4 out of 8 on the season. The kick is up, and he missed it. So both place kickers miss off the first possession of their respective teams.
Everybody thinks programming a VCR is so incredibly complicated. Record Channel 3 Sunday, 7 p.m., 8 p.m. What's the problem?
Magnavox, the only VCR with Smart Talk remote. Smart, very smart.
Who makes the only TV with a smart sound feature, which ensures your volume will stay at normal levels, even when something like this comes on?
Magnavox, smart, very smart.
Yes! No use shouting, old man.
And now for something different.
New Domino's Thin Crust Pizza. A crispy, crunchy crust pizza. It's a whole nother taste in a whole nother way. All right. Put that snap back in your life and always get
something for nothing when you call Domino's.
Save right now. Buy 3 Goodyear tires at the regular price, get the 4th tire free. That's right. Buy any 3 of these Goodyear tires at the regular price and get the 4th free. 4 for 3 now. Hurry, savings end soon.
The continent of Europe hosted over 100 million vacationers last year. Not one of them, however, was a Lexus engineer. Why? Let's just say they were busy. The 1994 Lexus ES, improved, revised, refined. In a word, new.
College football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Lexus Luxury Automobiles, including the 1994 ES, improved, revised, refined, in a word, new. BASF, we don't make a lot of the products you buy, we make a lot of the products you buy better. Magnavox, the ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart. And Payne Weber, we believe our most important investment is an investment in relationships. Let me bring you up to date on what's happened in this quarter. Michigan's first possession, 10 plays, missed field goal, 31 yards. Penn State, 11 plays, missed a 25-yard field goal. And it's no score. Michigan's got the ball back on their 20. Tyrone Wheatley is the single back. He's got the ball, contact in the backfield. Wheatley shakes it off, picks up 6. Now John Saunders.
Keith, in the ACC, North Carolina, Georgia Tech, Jason Stanisic just tosses this one out into the flats to Leon Johnson, who does the work. 15 yards for the touchdown, 56-yard drive, 8 plays. Keith, back to you, 7-0.
Here in a bright sunny day now. It was so foggy this morning you had to feel your way around the parking lot, but the weather has cooperated beautifully, and now we've got a warm, pleasant afternoon. The ball is rolling around on the grass, and Michigan recovers it. Coming back to get it, number 33, Shea Foster, sophomore out of Edmond, Oklahoma. And the ball got away from Collins. Well, the ball got away from Foster. I don't know what you're saying. Todd Barry's wearing out his arm.
Michigan has not turned the ball over that often this year. They've only had 4 fumbles that were lost.
Fumble is charged to come. Walter Smith, man in motion. Little fake to Wheatley, frees the linebacker, penalty flag goes down. Number 94 is hollering about it to Eric Ravati, and I think the foul's going to come possibly against Michigan for an illegal block or a hold. It's a hold. So they'll back Michigan up here as they make another mistake. And how's this for a golfer's dream? 18 legendary holes from 18 of the great courses in the country. John Daly, Tom Kite, Fuzzy Zeller, and Davis Love. Unprecedented round of golf. They flew them around in a big jet, and they played all kinds of different holes, and it'll be fun if you love the old game. Chrysler American Grade 18 coverage begins tomorrow at 4 Eastern, 3 Central, and Pacific here on ABC Sports. Now you find out why Eric Ravati was squawking. Watch it.
Runyon, 69, is the left tackle. Ravati uses his speed, gets around him, and right there he just grabs his jersey and pulls it down. It's a good call by the official. Ravati came in with 4 sacks in the first 5 games. Runyon is an outstanding offensive lineman, although he's only 19 years old. They think he is going to be a great one.
Punting team is into the ball game now for the Wolverines. On 4th down and 10. As Penn State would rather have them give up the ball than make it 3rd and 20. So the punter Stapleton hits it. Didn't get all of it. It's end over end, and it'll be returned by Bobby Ingram, a junior out of Camden, South Carolina. And you hold your breath when he's got the ball. Penn State's possession will start on the Michigan side of the field.
They can't speak, but still, they can tell us a lot. At Lexus, we're using advanced crash dummies equipped with a dozen computerized sensors, all to learn more about what happens in an accident. We're rather proud of our dummies. The better the dummy, the better the car.
Hold on. I don't just overnight the package.
Yeah, sure. Overnight it. Might as well overnight it.
Overnight this.
Overnight the overnight.
Overnight.
Sometimes overnight is overkill. So kick the habit with priority mail from the Postal Service. It's not overnight, but it's fast delivery, special handling, and 2 pounds is only $2.90.
Morning. Thanks.
When overnight is overdoing it, remember, we deliver for you. Call and we'll start today.
Today for Penn State represents their 1,000th ball game of this school's illustrious career, but there's a little question mark. You see, in 1881 against Lewisburg, they played the game, but most say it was a rugby game. The rules changed, and then the first official game was supposed to have happened between Bucknell, which was once called Lewisburg, in 1887. Whatever the case, this 1,000th game is the first game against Michigan, and everyone here is behind it and will keep some kind of keepsake from this immortal game.
We're here, Swanee. Let's make this 1,000 and be done with it. The concession folks certainly have tried. I mean, they had a bumper weekend. This is Carter. Kajana Carter, and he moves the football from the 46, the point of the snap, down near the 40 before Chuck Winters and Alfie Birch bring him down. The incredible thing to me, though, is the history of these two universities that they've never played before.
It is amazing when you stop to think. And Joe Paterno's played a lot of the Big Ten schools, but just never has played Michigan.
Penn State has played 133 different opponents, and Michigan's played 125 as of today. This ball is thrown to Brian O'Neill out of the backfield. And that works for a first down at the 32-yard line. There's nothing fancy.
Well, this is what Michigan State did against Michigan last week, and that is short passing underneath the linebackers, dumping it off to the fullback or to the tight end or to the halfback. And as I mentioned earlier, you know, you ask Joe Paterno who calls the plays, and he'll say Fran Ganner, the offensive coordinator. And you ask Ganner, and he says Joe calls them.
Collins gives the ball away to Kajana Carter, and he's got an enormous hole up the middle, and it's first down at the Michigan 17-yard line before Chuck Winters can make the tackle.
We talked about it in the pregame, and the up the middle is critical, and that's where it was, right up the middle.
Monday night on ABC Sports, Los Angeles Raiders, now back in the hunt in the AFC West, will be headed to Denver and the Denver Broncos, division rivals. That makes this a very big ball game, division rivals. Monday night live at 9 Eastern Time, 6 on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football.
How about Vince Evans, huh? Yeah. The old man came in and pulled him out.
Big game. Mike Archie and John Whitman in the backfield now for the Nittany Lions. Carter has 68 yards on 6 carries. Archie breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Penalty flags on the sideline, and the ball is down at the 13. The linesman threw the flag. Well, Penn State getting down here in the shadow of the goal line, and again they make a mistake. You know, this is the 6th game of the season, but I guess you got to have been part of this boiling pot. Remember, Penn State had a week off, so they could think and think and think about playing Michigan.
But I think along with that week off, Joe Paterno's probably saying, yeah, it's great for planning and scheming and getting players healthy, but as far as losing your timing and your momentum, I think that suffers a little bit, and I think that's what you're seeing here a little bit on the timing on the first couple of drives for Penn State.
First down and 15 now. The ball comes back to the 23, and Kerry Collins throws it down the middle, and the pass is incomplete to his tight end, Kyle Brady. And Kyle got a couple of knocks from one of the backers dropping and the strong safety.
Well, the two inside linebackers we were talking about right here, Powers and Irons. Now, what Michigan State did last week, the tight end just hooked right in the middle, and they completed these passes. They've been running inside at those two guys, and now they're throwing right between them. This time they close, react a lot better than they have in the past.
Collins back to throw it again. And again, it's down the pipe, and it is incomplete. And the ball led the tight end too much. Actually, I think Brady might have been available to him if he hadn't led him so much. And the pass is incomplete. Brady's a big target, 6'6", 255 pounds.
And he is really something. He came in here highly touted out of high school. Has not done a lot, but the scouts that I've talked to think they say he's chiseled. He reminds people of Russ Francis. Remember Russ Francis played with the Patriots?
I remember in Oregon.
The way he's built, good blocker, excellent blocker, and a good receiver.
23-yard line where it is 3rd down and 15. Collins setting up a screen, and a fine play by Matt Dyson. Number 91 leaped up and slapped it down. So Dyson makes a big play for the Wolverines on 3rd down and 15. They bring up 4th, and the kicking team is in for Penn State.
Matt Dyson, 91, has been injured. He's had a calf and a knee, and you mentioned a big play. This is because the screen was set up. Watch 79 Pickett right here as O'Neill. You saw 91 Dyson knock that ball down. There was 2 other linemen out there ready to go with the screen.
Yeah, they really had that thing set. This will be a 40-yard try. And this one is good. Fayak missed from 25. This is good from 40. His previous long had been 32. And Penn State gets on the board to lead 3-0. While the band toodles away and we wait for the kickoff, let's check in with Lynn Swan.
Even though this is the first time these two teams have met, they have a little bit of a common history. You see, back in 1961 and 69, Don Canham tried to hire Joe Paterno, met him in the Pittsburgh airport, and after a conversation offered him the job. Paterno thought about it and decided to stay here in Happy Valley. But Don Canham called him back and said, Joe, you know, do you know anything about this guy named Bo Schembechler? And after talking with Paterno, he said the only thing he knew about Paterno is that Woody Hayes said he was one of the best assistants he ever had. Bo Schembechler, of course, got the job, and the rest, they say, is history.
Bo's here today. I understand. But there's a lot of folks from Michigan here today. First time that they had come to this part of the country to see a football game, obviously, and from what I could see on the faces I saw yesterday, they're having a good time.
But they figure about a 6-hour drive over?
Something like that.
Ann Arbor?
Brett Conway will kick it off. Tyrone Wheatley and Derek Alexander will wait for it. And the ball rolls off the tee just before he hit it. So we'll do it again. We're expecting that when the crowd total is announced today, we may have a new attendance record here at Happy Valley, Beaver Stadium. Last year when we did the Miami game here, they put in more than 95,000. We think today they might get past 96 something. Michigan, of course, leads the country in attendance at that enormous Michigan Stadium every year. This time they hold the ball, kick it well back into the end zone, and Tyrone Wheatley will leave it there, and it'll be first down Michigan at the 20. This is what's happening today in the Big Ten, and that one in Columbus is pretty good size.
Huge. Wisconsin, a big surprise. What are they, 5-0 now?
Yep. One of the things at the end of the season, though, that seems incredible. Well, how did you know what was going to happen was going to happen? But Wisconsin and Michigan State end the season in Tokyo.
Yeah.
In the first week of December.
If that game has some kind of bearing on the final standings,
I'm not going.
We'll have you over there doing the game. Yeah, by yourself.
Tyrone Wheatley is the single back. Collins gives it to him. And Tyrone will pick up about 6 yards from the 20 to the 26 with a minute left to play in the first quarter, and Penn State leading on a 40-yard field goal by Fayak, 3-0.
Well, the early reports for Michigan offensive line, we said key thing to watch the game store was that offensive line against the defensive line. They're opening some holes and giving Collins some time to throw, so doing very well in the first quarter.
Well, they had 33 yards total on 23 rushes against the Spartans. Tyrone Wheatley has 6 runs for 33 yards himself. And there's another 4 as he gets it up to the close to the 30 before Geltheiser brings it down. Maybe just a bit short of the 30-yard stripe, which will mean just short of the first down. So it looks like the Wolverines will let the clock run out, and the first quarter will come to a close with the Penn State Nittany Lions leading the Michigan Wolverines 3-0, and it's over. 3-0 after 1 quarter of play in the first game ever between the two teams.
At BASF, we don't make the meal, we make it healthier. We don't make the lotion, we make it smoother. We don't make the dress, we make it brighter. We don't make the carpet, we make it tougher. At BASF, we don't make a lot of the products you buy, we make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF.
Over 2 million vacationers visited historic Philadelphia last year. Not one of them, however, was a Lexus engineer. Why? Let's just say they were busy. Lexus ES. Improved, revised, refined. In a word, new.
She says she left her lights on all day.
Who gives you free emergency service if your battery ever needs a jump start? You're all set now. The Die Hard. Only at Sears. We're driven to satisfy.
Now, the most advanced motor oil in Quaker State history comes with the biggest rebate in Quaker State history. Get a $4.20 cash back rebate on new advanced formula Quaker State. That's $4.20 cash back. Hurry, see your Quaker State retailer before November 30th.
Tony and Diane get regular insurance checkups, just like they get regular medical checkups. I'm State Farm Agent Carlos Bermudez. I have been their State Farm agent 7 years. A family insurance checkup helps them make sure all their coverages are up to date. It's also a good time to explore options, like how their life insurance plan can be adapted to help with their daughter's college education. I think the family insurance checkup is something everybody can feel good about.
State Farm is there.
Craig T. Nelson and Coach Hayden Fry discuss the game plan.
College football is a great game, but how do you handle the pressures, Coach? While you never lose sight of the record, your first responsibility must be to your players. But can you balance all that and still win? Success isn't always what's on the scoreboard. Sometimes it's what your players accomplish later in life. Well, that's a good point. Let's not forget that college football is about both college and football.
Enjoy college football, more than a game.
Ryan Gelhauser leads the tacklers for Penn State with 5 in the ball game so far in the first quarter. But for Penn State, the rush hasn't bothered Todd Collins much yet. Wheatley is the single back on 3rd down and short, and this time the Lions rise up. But the forward surge may have been just enough. Both linesmen came right down the 30-yard stripe.
16 to the left is Gelshauser. Right there. Yeah. I mean, that's the... Excuse me. There's a look at Sandusky, the defensive coordinator. That's the gravy. The linebackers get to go over the top. The tough work was done by the defensive line and the offensive linemen piling everything up.
And it is the first down. Wheatley and Foster. Defense. Todd Collins calling his play at the line of scrimmage. Tough place to do that. Wheatley. He's down at the line of scrimmage. Lou Benfatti, number 55, works along the trenches, along with Tyoka Jackson and Eric Clare. Benfatti is 6'3", 270 from Green Pond, New Jersey. And while you don't call his name very much, I can assure you that he is occupying the time and energy of 2 Wolverines on virtually every play.
He's making his 43rd start of his career today also.
Ball is handed to Wheatley. And Tyrone will move it out to about the 38-yard line where Derek Bonner gets him by the coattail and brings him down.
Here's a look at what happened in the first quarter. Both teams had the ball twice. Miss Penn State with 16 plays to 14. Nothing really big difference in nowhere. 106 yards to 74. Time of possession about the same. No turnovers. And Penn State with the 1 field goal, and both of them had a miss. Defense is not playing too poorly. Offense is not getting it in the end zone.
3rd down, long 2 with Powers in the tailback slot. Now, Ricky Powers. Collins lets it go down the middle, has a man wide open. It's Toomer, and Amani Toomer is down to the Penn State 41-yard line. 1st down, Michigan.
Good protection for Todd Collins. Little play action on 3rd and short. Middle of the field was wide open, and Todd Collins throwing the ball very well and getting some nice time to throw by that offensive line.
I think Sandusky is going to have to turn some blitzers loose here, isn't he? The down guys don't seem to be able to generate much pressure on him. Ed Davis is in the backfield, deep man. He He's the sophomore out of Detroit. Todd Collins lets it fly. Derek Alexander to the corner. No, can't get there. Eric Clare knocked Todd Collins down, but the ball was long gone.
It's a nice call, though, Keith. You're moving the ball. You're inside the 45-yard line of the defense. First down, play action, you throw long. Sometimes defenses don't expect you to throw the ball deep when you get across the 45, 40-yard line inside the 30 because of the back of the end zone. They think you're not going to throw deep. So first down pass, go deep, stretch him out a little bit. You've been throwing underneath. Nice call.
Todd Collins' first miss. Wheatley's back. Collins looks for him, throws instead down the middle, and the pass is incomplete. Must have been intended for Walter Smith. He was the only eligible in the neighborhood.
Well, it was that wide receiver screen, Keith, and Gelsheiser, number 16, saw it coming all the way. Watch Gelsheiser, he's right here. Now as the linemen head out, Gelsheiser is going to head right that way also, and you'll see coming from the left side outside the picture, he sees it all the way. That could have been a nasty collision.
The ball rests at the 41-yard line of Michigan, where it is 3rd down and 10 for the Wolverines. Penn State leading in the ball game by a score of 3-0, and we have 12.5 minutes to go in the first half. Todd Collins throws underneath. The pass complete to Smith. Breaks one tackle, but can't get away from the rest of them.
That's Yeboah Cody, number 43. And one thing you can always say about a Joe Paterno coach team is they will always tackle well. He always has good people blocking and tackling. Never go beyond. I mean, they always got a lot of attention to blocking and tackling. You can talk about X's and O's and nickels and dimes and spreads and all that other stuff, but they'll always be able to block and tackle here.
All right, Chris Stapleton checks in. Number 10's Bobby Ingram. You just saw he's waiting for the punt. And let's see if Stapleton try to hit the corner with it. He just sails it right on beyond the field of play. Often happens. The punter relaxes, tries to pooch it, gets it on the foot right, play it flies.
I wonder what the warranty covers. How does Prism's 24-hour roadside assistance work anyway? Can I get anti-lock brakes? Are the dual airbags really standard?
Before you buy a new car, you have a lot of questions. Call 1-800-GET-TO-KNOW and get to know all the answers about the new Geo Prism.
How about if I just take this one?
Place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see. If it's gonna get done, it's up to you and me. Come on and head for the mountains of Bush. Come on and head for the mountains of Bush. Beer.
From Brussels to Budapest, Milan to Munich, Delta gives you more non-stops to more cities in Europe than any other airline in the world. 290 weekly flights, 21 countries. More Europe, more often. Nobody gives you more of Europe than Delta Airlines.
The Los Angeles Raiders, trying to climb up the AFC West, head to the mountains for a mile-high showdown with the Denver Broncos on ABC's Monday Night Football.
Each team possesses a leading rusher, ball carrier, and this is what the two leading ball carriers for the respective teams have done so far in the game. See that Wheatley has had it 6 times more than Carter.
4 times more.
4 times more, I'm sorry. Carter 32. They all want to wear 32, don't they? At least most of them do. Goes back to the days Jim Brown made it so popular. This carry by Brian O'Neill, who is a senior from Cincinnati, and he'll pick up 2 yards on the carry. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
See, Cincinnati, he went to the same high school as Roger Staubach. Neil had some injuries earlier this summer. Had a foot problem and had a disc in his back. He is a tough fullback, Keith. Doesn't get to carry the ball enough. You got 3 good tailbacks.
Yeah, they got 3 tailbacks and 3 fullbacks. Carry, Collins. Ball bounces. Kyle Brady, is that a catch? Hit him on the knee, bounced up into his hands. Whatever it takes. And that'll be a first down for the Nittany Lions, and here's John.
Keith, that was a lucky bounce. Here's an unlucky bounce. Graham Stroman looking for Derek Stiegel. He gets caught up with the official, Rosario Amato, and Mike Martin picks it up. Look at Stiegel here, right over top of Amato. The ball is kicked right up into the arms of Martin. It led to a touchdown, 14-0. Keith.
Well, that'll send you to the supper table mumbling, won't it? This is Kajana Carter carrying the ball. And the 212-pounder will pick up another Penn State first down.
That's just a great run, Keith. Everything was boxed in, and he just took off with the sideline. He is 2nd in the Big Ten in rushing and 6th in the nation right there, averaging 122 yards per game.
His quarterback helped him around the corner, too. Gave his body to a block.
You know, this offense is without their starting quarterback at the beginning of the year and one of their top wide receivers. Tyson Thomas, injured a knee, wide receiver, not here.
Ball is handed inside. Here goes Carter. Crosses midfield and goes down to the Michigan 44-yard line. Another first down for Penn State.
We talked about the inside linebackers. Another play inside. Watch right here as the tight end is going to come and get the block, and he's going to go inside, but right off the tight end's block. Brady, 81. That's Powers, 95. Good blocking.
There's a lot of green grass and no white shirts on there for a minute, wasn't there?
Yep.
8 carries, 92 yards for Carter. He's got it again. He's still going. Oh.
Poor tackling. Yep. Of course, a guy like Carter, he'll make you miss some tackles.
Well, the history dictates here at Penn State that the home crowd fully understands and will lend their appreciation loudly to the running backs because they watch them. They know what they can do, and they're watching a good one in Kajana Carter. Mike Archie is now in, and but the defense, he's no bargain either. He's 206 pounds and can run. Kerry Collins goes to the corner. Touchdown. Bobby Ingram.
Call again inside the 35-yard line. Throw it down deep. Ingram beats Birch. He sees the ball, goes back for it. That is his 8th touchdown in 5.5 games, really. Outstanding.
The point is good. 9:33 to play in the first half. It's 10-0. Penn State leading Michigan.
About 65 miles south of the nearest stoplight, and 2 miles up in the Rocky Mountain sky, you'll find skiers' heaven, also known as Telluride. The skiing's perfect and the views are even better. And whether you're going to extremes or just going for a lesson, don't go without your Visa card. Because at Telluride Ski Resort, they'll let you take the plunge, but they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
We saw a boy get murdered tonight. If they catch us, they're gonna kill us too.
This fall, there's one movie to see. Judgment Night, rated R. Now playing.
Hitachi? They make, those little chips. They're in everything. They make things run.
Hitachi makes semiconductors and 20,000 other memorable products. Hitachi.
The simpler my life is, the better. I don't need more stuff. I need good stuff. I sure don't need a car that costs as much as my parents' house. I think my car should be an ostentatious display of common sense.
Bob. Bill's from Hershey, everybody else is from Lewistown. And they're wonderful.
They are, aren't they?
Everybody but George retired. They've been coming here for so long, they've all been named honorary coaches. Brett Conway will kick it off for Penn State as the Nittany Lions lead by a score of 10-0 with 9.5 minutes to play in the first half.
This kid Conway, Keith, is a true freshman, taking some of the pressure off of Fayak. Was the #2 kicker in the nation last year behind Bentley at Florida State.
They don't want Tyrone Wheatley to get it, but he's got it anyway. And they get him. And this is how it became a 10-0 ball game.
From behind the offense. It's a good call, as we mentioned, inside the 35, 40-yard line. The ball is a little bit underthrown. That's Ingram's 8th touchdown reception of the year.
You know, Alfie Birch kind of lost sight of the ball, turned the wrong way, and then couldn't get back to it. Ingram's putting some new marks in the record book, as you see.
He's only a sophomore, sat out last year.
So Todd Collins lets it go to Derek Alexander. Jukes one, gets up across the 35, and that'll be a first. No, I don't think so. Not quite a first down. Later today on ABC Sports, the second half of our doubleheader. Now, these games are all big. I mean, Michigan State, Ohio State, that's big in the Big Ten. Tennessee, Alabama, you know about that in the SEC. Washington, UCLA in the Pac-10. Colorado, Oklahoma in the Big 8. The winner of any one of those games is going to be in pretty good shape in their conference. It is a first down for Michigan, and now we get a penalty flag. Can't beat the clock. They still had 13 seconds remaining on the snap clock, so here's Jim Kimberling to tell us what happened. Wolverines making another mistake.
Here's a look at Michigan in the Big Ten this year versus last year. You can see on the left side they were total defense and rushing defense. The offense is down below. They led in all of those categories, and this year not quite as good. Of course, they lost their entire offensive line and Elvis Gerbach, and the defense has been hurting with all of those injuries to the inside linebackers. So it's been a little bit different going this year for Gary Moeller.
First and 15, the ball back near the 30-yard line. Todd Collins lets it go. Got a man over there on the sidelines, but the pass is completed up around the 38-yard line to Derek Alexander, the senior out of Detroit. Shelly Hammonds, cornerback, made the hit on him, number 21. Shelly Hammonds was a running back when he first came here. Then he went to the defense, and he went back to the offense and wound up at defense, and he's a good one.
Oh, he's an outstanding player. A couple of years ago against Boston College, he gained over 200 yards in the second half alone. But he still wanted to play defense, and that's where he is. And he's an outstanding corner.
Wheatley, the single back. He's got it. Lost when he made his cut, kind of lost his footing, turned it back inside. Lee Rubin had him in his sights, and he slipped, and Rubin missed him, but he didn't get much out of him. The top 10 today.
We're early, so there are not a lot of these games have started yet. But that's a look at the AP top 10.
ABC Sports is pretty well represented in the top 10.
Yep. A bunch of good ones.
3rd down and 7. Today and October 30 are really 2 outstanding days of college football. It's exceptional. All day long for Todd Collins. Throws the ball finally to Tyrone Wheatley. He's taken down at the 45 by Willie Smith, an inside linebacker for Penn State. And I think he got him just a little short of his 1st down. But I'm really impressed by the way the Michigan offensive front has handled the Penn State defense.
They have. Michigan came in allowing a few sacks, but Penn State had 18 coming in.
Yep.
That's going to be just short. Michigan's got to punt it away again.
Stapleton will be kicking to Bobby Ingram. Stapleton's 2 punts, 28 and 38. That's a good kick. It's high hanger. Ingram lets it go, and this time got burned. Ball is down inside the 5. Sometimes it'll go in, and sometimes it won't.
He did the right thing.
Yep. 50-yard punt.
The new Camaro. What else would you expect from the country that invented rock and roll?
At the University of Alabama, we're proud to be college football's national champion.
Gene Stallings, head coach, the University of Alabama Crimson Tide.
We won because we worked hard and we were committed to success. Today's educators need the same qualities in the classroom. The Hitachi Promise of Tomorrow scholarships encourage students involved with college football programs to become teachers. This will make us all winners because our future depends on education.
At Penn State, we're searching to understand our world. In atmospheric sciences, we measure smog over cities. To make flying safer, we create new kinds of weather forecasts for pilots. We use sound waves to probe ocean temperatures for signs of climate change and computers to simulate the role of clouds on the Earth. What we learn today, we teach tomorrow's meteorologists. Our students have a world view of weather.
It's time once again for our Coors Light Fan Picks College Football Poll. Just call 1-800-932-3000 to vote. This week, Florida State remains on top.
The football is going to be marked and put in play from right about the 5. So let's call it the 5-yard line, where the ball was screwed right in there and stuck just like a good, well-hit 7-iron. Mike Archie and John Whitman will be the running backs for Penn State now on this snap. This is be careful country. Penn State leading 10-0. Collins gives it to Archie. He bangs his way into the middle and goes to the 10. That's a 5-yard pickup. A little more than 5. The other tailback for Penn State is Stephen Pitts. We haven't seen him yet. We will.
One of the things Michigan likes to do, Keith, is slant their linemen. You can see it real well right here. Watch as the white shirts will slant to our left. The linebackers and fill the holes. Nice block there by the fullback Whitman. Penn State's ready for that slant.
Archie again, trying to bounce outside and can't get away. Bobby Powers, a good play for the junior from River Ridge, Louisiana.
Powers is an overachiever. He's an outstanding young man. He's 6 foot, only 231 pounds, 13 tackles last week against Michigan State, and he's one of those linebackers that are filling in on the inside in there for Michigan.
Loss on the play to make it a 3rd down and 6 now as O'Neal comes back into the backfield. He's a good pass receiver. And Kerry Collins couldn't find anybody to throw to. Turns it upfield, runs it out of bounds, and was trying to get the ball to the 15, which is where he had to go for his 1st down. And Wolverines would not let him get there.
More than anything, Keith, that's a safe call when you're backed up in your own end zone. Yep. You get outside. You're not going to get sacked in the end zone, first of all. And secondly, you get outside where you can see and not throw any interceptions.
V.J. Musillo comes in, a junior from Long Branch, New Jersey. That number 1 you just saw dropping back is Derek Alexander. He's going to give Michigan very good field position if he handles the ball. Musillo's punt is out of there. Alexander takes it at the 48-yard line. Out of hole. He's gone. Touchdown, Michigan. Yard punt return by Derek Alexander, and the Wolverines get a big play. Special teams.
Both teams are very good at returning kicks.
It's number 52.
It's Smith, Willie Smith, the linebacker. Backup linebacker for Penn State.
Timeout for Willie Smith, and let's check in with John Saunders.
Keith, Syracuse and Pitt, we told you Marvin Graves was injured early, back in the game, a little play fake there. Then 64 yards to Marvin Harrison, who was wide open. Pitt went for the fake. That made it 7-7. They've added another, now lead 14-7 in the second quarter. Keith, back to you.
Well, Pitt's actually giving them a ball game, aren't they? When Johnny Majors went to Pittsburgh the first time, the first turnout he had for his first class of recruiting, there was something like 170 kids. Now, that's only a dream of the past. Can't bring him in like that anymore. Johnny turned that thing around in a hurry over there before. Now it's going to take him some time.
Yep.
This is Elezovic for the extra point. And it's good. Oh, he hooks that thing pretty well, doesn't he? He really snaps it sometimes. But he got that one in at 5:14 to go in the first half. It's now a 10-7 ball game, Penn State.
Let's go back and take a look from the end zone. One of the best routes is the most direct, and that is straight up the field. A good block there. And he just got some space between the blue jerseys. And if you got some space and a good runner like Alexander, he returned 2 kicks last year for touchdowns. Michigan, if there was a good block by 34, that's Charles. Not many other blocks were thrown. Most of them were just run by. The coverage ran by the kicker because he ran right back at him. Michigan needed a score. The momentum had shifted to Penn State.
Derek's hair's going.
Stays cool that way.
Remy Hamilton will put it down on the tee now for Michigan. Shelly Hammonds and Kajana Carter are waiting. Kajana Carter has 99 yards so far in the ball game on 9 carries, so he's going to have 100 before the halftime.
As advertised, he is an outstanding player.
Yep. Last time Penn State had a punt return for a touchdown against him was Miami. Kevin Williams back in '91. Now let's see what Shelly Hammonds can do for the Lions. He almost had a crack himself. He's back to the 26 on the carry. And tonight on ABC, Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan ruin a wonderful friendship by falling in love. Kids. When Harry met Sally, and then a drug dealer sells to kids, the feds are protecting him, and it's all on the new commission. Tonight after the movie on ABC.
They ruined a perfect friendship, huh?
Yep. Only in Hollywood.
That's right where you neighborhood, isn't it? You hang around the neighborhood.
No. Kajana Carter. Nope. This is Kerry Collins down the middle. The pass to Ingram. First down, 40-yard line for Penn State.
I'm impressed with both quarterbacks, both Collinses, both Kerry and Todd. Kerry starting his 3rd game of the year.
Well, that was a rope, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Penn State only throws 30% of the time, and they have running plays the other 70%. Of course, the production is a little bit more balanced than that. But
O'Neal and Whitman, two fullbacks, are now in the backfield, and this is O'Neal, number 29, getting one of his rare carries up to the 45, about a 4-yard pickup. And time remaining in the first half, 4:35. A 10-7 lead, Penn State. Kajana Carter coming back in now. Chip LaBarca leaves the game at the flanker. They don't throw to LaBarca a whole lot, but when they do, it's usually big trouble. Let's see if they give it to Carter for 100 yards. Yep, here he goes. And he gets, no, he didn't get his 100 yards. He did not get a thing out of that carry as Jared Irons and Bobby Powers took him down.
It's a nice play by Irons. Rivera is going to come around here, and Irons is going to be right here. It kind of gets stocked up in there. Little step to the right. Rivera, 54. The nose guy, Keith, the man you said would be key today, did a nice job of pushing his man back into that hole.
Terry Collins throwing. Incomplete, intended for Kajana Carter up around the 49-yard line. Shante Peoples, the man on the coverage for Michigan. And so Penn State will not get the first down, and they'll have to punt it. So the Michigan defense played well that time. After that one rope was completed by Collins. Musillo's first kick was a 35-yarder, and Derek Alexander took it back 48 for a touchdown. It's off the side of the foot. Alexander had no chance to get to the ball, but it takes a Penn State roll and it rolls all the way down to the 13-yard line.
Nothing you can do about that if you're on offense except put 2 or 3 guys back.
43-yard punt. And coming up at halftime on the Prudential halftime report, John Saunders scores and highlights. A look at the Heisman hopeful Tennessee quarterback Heath Shuler. He's a fun youngster.
Yeah.
I mean, that whole family is fun.
I was impressed with Shuler, not only when we did our game at Florida, but also in seeing some of his other highlights the last couple of weeks.
Wheatley. In Tyrone. Big play out to the 35-yard line. So Tyrone Wheatley shows his heels to the Lions, and the Michigan Wolverines now have some real estate at their back.
Good blocking up front. Wheatley gets around the end. Here's a rushing comparison by team. Penn State 115 yards and Michigan 67, although after we add that last run, it'll be a little bit closer.
Wheatley again. So they may sense here that it's they've got a chance to make a move if they crank up the Wheatley engine, and they've done that. He picked up 6 yards on that carry, and it kind of reminds me of the old days when John McKay was at USC. Somebody said, why do you give it to him so many times? And he said, why? It ain't heavy.
That's good. I'm told that the run before that last one, the long run by Wheatley, was included. So only 67 yards over almost a half for Michigan.
Second down on 4, and Todd Collins getting some pressure. Penalty flag goes down. Number 94, Eric Rabati, dragged the Michigan quarterback down, and let's see about the penalty. The man in the white hat is Jim Kimmerly. Michigan holding. Well, they continue to make mistakes that hurt them. And I'll guarantee you that big old baritone in the blue hat knows it.
Mm-hmm.
And other folks do too now.
Well, you got that right. The offensive tackles for Michigan had their hands full blocking Ravati and Tyoka Jackson. They are 2 outstanding pass rushers. Michigan has not been sacked yet today, but they've been called for a couple of holding penalties.
This is point of foul penalty, 17 yards on the call, so it's a big penalty. 2 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the first half. Walter Smith Derek Alexander. Mercury Hayes, all of the burners are out there now at wideout for Michigan. Give it inside to Wheatley, and I want to tell you there is a lick there. Kyoka Jackson meet Mr. Tyrone Wheatley.
'97 is Jackson. Little game, a little twist. He came back to the inside, expecting a pass. They were rushing the passer, and look what I found. A little draw play inside. He is a third in career sacks at Penn State is Jackson.
He's a good one. Walter Smith. Collins looks both ways, comes back to Alexander. And Alexander showing some moves. Is out well short of the first down. Remember, they had a 17-yard penalty for holding. And that'll bring up 4th down and 12. Gorgeous day now that the fog has been burned off by the bright sun. Colors glimmering from the hillsides surrounding Happy Valley as the home team, Penn State, leads Michigan by 10-7.
Hold on. I don't just overnight the package.
Yeah, sure. Overnight it. Might as well overnight it.
Overnight this.
Overnight the overnight.
Overnight.
Sometimes overnight is overkill. So kick the habit with priority mail from the Postal Service. It's not overnight, but it's fast delivery, special handling, and 2 pounds is only $2.90.
Morning. Thanks.
When overnight is overdoing it, remember, we deliver for you. Call and we'll start today.
You build a new razor with precision heads to shave below the skin in comfort. And what do you get? Cut a precision groove to help the Norelco lift and cut system shave even closer. And what do you get? Build a razor that shaves closer, smoother than ever before. And what do you get? The new Norelco razors, our closest shave ever.
Old Spice asks, where do you go to test your endurance? New High Endurance. With an odor-fighting formula so long-lasting, not even the leading stick can keep up.
High Endurance delivers.
For better odor protection, get the better deodorant stick. Demand proof. Get New High Endurance.
You know which motor oil can help keep your car running for 100, 200, 300,000 miles and more? It's the same brand that more top mechanics in America use in their own cars. Valvoline motor oil.
People who know use Valvoline.
Chris Stapleton will be summoned now to punt for the Michigan Wolverines. His 4th kick of the day as it's 4th down and 12. And Mike Archie has gone back. Archie's first time back under a punt today. They're looking for the running back. They're looking to get some field position. Maybe tack on another 3-pointer if they can.
Maybe a block.
Maybe a block. They got 9 of them up there. Now 10. They all go. But the kick is away, and it's a good one. That's a real good one.
Oh, great kick.
It is in the end zone, however.
That was almost an outstanding kick, I want to tell you.
Almost out at the 1. Coffin corner winds up a 66-yarder, and it comes back to the 20, netting 46. But still a very good effort by Stapleton.
They were after him, too. They had some pressure on him, and he got off an outstanding kick. Wind is blowing in that direction some, but that was a great kick.
So now the Nittany Lions, we have 1 timeout remaining. Remember, they lost one on the crowd noise rule back early on in the first quarter. They have 1 minute and 8 seconds of time. 1 timeout. Milne and Carter in the backfield. Jonas still needs 1 yard for 100 in the first half. Got the ball. Going around the corner. He's got his 100. He gets out of bounds at the 7-yard line, so he's got 106 yards in the first half of play. Be 2nd down and 3.
There's a look at the fullback, Brian Millen. He's had a tough couple of years. In high school, he was diagnosed with Hodgkin's disease. It gave him a 70% chance of surviving. He had 2 surgeries and 6 months of chemotherapy, which he said going through that was hell. But the doctors now say he's healthy.
Carter trying to bounce outside. Can't find any room there, so he just put his head down and turned away and got it down to the 29. So they'll be looking at 3rd down and 1.
6 months after Millen's treatment ended, he won the high school state discus title. Paterno said his scholarship was still there for him and kept in touch with him. And last spring he won the NCAA discus championship, and now he is the backup fullback here at Penn State. Great story. Young man.
Stephen Pitts is in the backfield for the first time today, bringing a pair of fresh legs. But O'Neal gets the ball, and I guess he's going to have, according to the linesman's posture, where he puts his foot, they will have a first down. Put it on the 31-yard line and move the chains with 18 seconds remaining. So it looks like we may well go to the clubhouse with a 3-point difference. And we'll see whether or not Kerry Collins elects. No, they're going to let that clock run. They're just wandering around out there and headed for the locker room. And that's where we are at halftime. The Penn State Nittany Lions leading the Wolverines of Michigan. And now timeout has been called. Most of the Penn State was on the way to their clubhouse, but Michigan said, no, let's wait.
Sunday.
Boxing.
When a bunch of bionic bad guys terrorize Metropolis.
What the Sam Hill's going on here?
We've created 5 men of inordinate human strength.
Is Lois's dad
Operated on by Dr. Sam Lane.
a part of the plot?
My God, Clark. I'm Dr. Frankenstein's daughter.
Will Lex Luthor get the knockout?
An army of supermen under my control.
Lois and Clark, Sunday.
Well, they get the Lions back all on their sideline now, and we're going to get this one last play, and we've got a new record in attendance at Beaver Stadium. The old record was 96,704 for the Miami game a year ago. Just barely squeezed by it. 96,719 today. So you and I have seen 2 of the larger crowds of the season.
Yes,
Michigan,
we have.
Notre Dame,
But
not here.
And we were included in that count, weren't we? They count us and the players and coaches and everybody.
Absolutely.
I think Joe waited to call that timeout just so he could get one more shot, and if it was a bad play, a fumble or a turnover, he wouldn't give Michigan any time to do anything. But you can bet he's got some guys that can do something with it. Carter maybe, or Ingram, throw it deep.
Well, he's got Ingram and LaBarca over here to the bottom of the picture together. Look out. Michigan says, now we're having none of this. Buster Stanley puts him on his back, and the half is over. Now we'll give you the halftime score. Penn State 10 and Michigan 7.
CFA College Football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Chevrolet, who invites you to see all the new Chevy cars for 1994. And Priority Mail from the United States Postal Service. We deliver for you. We'll be back with halftime activities after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Halftime is done here at Happy Valley, Beaver Stadium. Penn State University leading Michigan in their first meeting ever by a score of 10-7. And here's a look at the Nittany Lions touchdown. You'll see Alfie Birch, number 7, the corner, turned the wrong way. Bobby Ingram canted right on by him and then come back to the ball because he picks it up. Birch doesn't. And it's touchdown. That made it 10-0. 40-yard field goal responsible for the other scoring. Now watch Derek Alexander go 48 yards with a punt for Michigan's touchdown. He did it gracefully.
Amazing thing there, Keith, is there's nobody on the ground. Nobody was on the ground in a white shirt or a blue shirt. He just ran by everybody.
That plus the field goal from Elizabeth, rather from Fayak, as the reason for the 3-point difference in the ball game. Craig Fayak, the Nittany Lions place kicker.
The statistics after a half, a total yardage 107 to 217. The thing that's not on there, of course, for Michigan is the punt return for a touchdown. Michigan has no offensive touchdowns. And for Penn State, they had the one long pass, the 37-yard touchdown. And other than that, it's been pretty much a defensive struggle.
Number 32 is tailback Kajana Carter. Number 21 is cornerback Shelley Hammonds. They are the return men for Penn State, as Remy Hamilton, number 19, redshirt freshman from Boca Raton, Florida, gets ready to kick it off for the white-shirted Michigan Wolverines. Record crowd of more than 96,000 watching on a sunny afternoon, and it's finally picked up by Hammonds. Hammonds now playing cornerback, former running back, gets out to the 37-yard line where the Lions will go to work.
In the first half, Kerry Collins was 7 of 13 and a touchdown. Carter had 108 yards, and Ingram had 53 yards on 2 receptions in that 1 touchdown. Possessions, they did well the first 3 times they had it. They missed a field goal and then kicked the field goal and a touchdown, and then they punted 2 times before the end of the half.
Kerry Collins sets in at quarterback, number 12. Kajana Carter is the deep back. He's got the ball going right, gets a hole, cuts it back, and he runs into number 37, Jarrett Irons. And he's down at about the 41-yard line. I remember that I went through the Notre Dame ball game and did not call Jarrett Irons' name in that ball game, and Michigan lost. Now he is forced because of the linebacking core being wiped out by injuries and other reasons. He's got to play, and he's improving every week. They hand it inside, trying for their first down, trying to bust a crack in there. O'Neal could not pop out. And so they'll be looking at 3rd down and about 5. Now let's check in with Lynn Swann.
Well, Keith, going out of halftime, Joe Paterno felt like his offense just kind of fouled up some opportunities to score. But one interesting thing they are doing, they're trying to block the inside safety really fast because he's made most of the tackles. So sometimes the motion is designed to give the receiver an angle on the inside strong safety.
Kerry Collins throws the ball. Brian O'Neal catches and goes down to the Michigan 41-yard line for a first down for Penn State. Michigan came into this ball game and into this season having won or shared 5 straight Big Ten conference titles. They've been to 18 straight bowl games, and they need to win this ball game.
Fullback's going to slide out here, Keith. Watch him as he's going to fake to the second man. The linebacker on that side is held by the play-action fake. Nice play. They've worked that a couple of times, and, you know, you keep running it till they stop it.
Put it on the 42 as Penn State has the first down. Give it to Carter. And they get him just a little short of the line of scrimmage. So Penn State, the independent, the beast of the East, if you will, for so many years among the Eastern independents, going into the Big Ten this year, their inaugural season, and they're undefeated in conference play, whereas Michigan loses last week to Michigan State. And I wasn't entertained, frankly. I was a bit bewildered by the negativism of so many headlines around this part of the country. Despite 2 losses they've been writing, Michigan comes in this and that and what have you. Well, I got news for them. Michigan is Michigan. And when they come to town, you better tend to your knitting or you're not going to handle them.
That's for sure. Let's take a look at the game story. Let's update what's been going on. We said for Michigan, can the offensive line control the defensive line? Well, they've got 71 yards in the first half, no sacks, and only 2 tackles for loss. Michigan, for Penn State, they're rushing 124 yards in the first half. That is very good. Both teams seem to be doing what they wanted in the game story.
On 3rd and 10, Kerry Collins lets it go, and it's just beyond the reach of Bobby Ingram. And you know what? He had him. He had it.
It would have had to have been a good throw. There was better coverage there than it was on the touchdown before, but you're right, he had a couple of steps.
So they'll have to punt it. Musillo is in. Alexander will go back. 2 punts. 135, 143. That 43 had a big roll on it. He's knocked that one into the end zone. So it'll come to the 20. And Michigan will have their first possession of the second half.
I was ice fishing when my Chevy fell through the ice. We hauled it out, full of water, frozen solid. I changed the plugs, the fluids. It started right up. That was 100,000 miles ago.
Man, you think that's something. One night in 1980, a friend and myself were looking for a hunting spot. We missed a turn and actually went into a canal. You could see the headlights shining underwater with fish going by. Slammed it in reverse and backed right out. Truck never missed a beat.
Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
You know, if life were perfect, women wouldn't talk during the bottom of the night.
Yeah, and magazines would never smell like perfume.
No. See, if life were perfect, potato chips would cure hair loss. Dogs would walk themselves. And algebra, it would actually come in handy.
Well, hey, at least there's Amstel Light. It's only 95 calories.
Yeah, but it still has that real imported taste. Nothing's missing. Amstel Light is a great beer.
Look, if life were perfect, you'd buy the next round.
All right, I'm buying. You got a camera?
These two teams played when you get around to your comparisons, because the game is still relatively even at 10-7. That's the Nittany Lions schedule up to this point, where they went 5-0. These are the people they are yet to play. Now, they had one winning record on those teams in the first half of the season, Rutgers. In the second half of the season, they're going to be looking at 4 winning records, and Ohio State's next, but they have a week off before. Now, the Michigan schedule through the first half, it's about the same, frankly, as the Penn State schedule. But the second half, like theirs, will also get a little nuttier. And Illinois is next.
Of course, the one big team on Michigan's schedule was Notre Dame, that they ranked 3rd or 4th in the country now, aren't they?
Yep. Michigan 3-2 coming into this game. Penn State is 5-0. The Wolverines go to the attack at the 20. And the ball to Tyrone Wheatley, and he's got about 6 yards on the carry. Penn State does not play Wisconsin. In case you missed the Badgers' name in that future alignment for them. And they finished the season at Michigan State, which couldn't be a bump in the road. But their first problem right now is to win this game. Michigan Wolverines, laden with history. You know, they played in the very first collegiate bowl game back in 1902, the Rose Bowl. Fielding Yost's lads defeated Stanford 49-0, and that was what set in motion ostrich racing and chariot racing and all of that. Rob Holmberg was the man hurt. Terry Killens comes in to replace him. Hand off to Tyrone Wheatley, and Wheatley is stopped just short of the 30-yard line. Now here's Lynn Swan with a report on Michigan's halftime message.
Keith, I talked to Cam Cameron, the offensive coordinator. He said, of course, they want to stop the penalties. They said they need better blocking from the right side of their offensive line. And the only thing that Penn State's doing that they had not anticipated was a nickel defense with that 5th defensive back floating in the middle. On the defensive side, they feel like they just need to tackle better, but they are feeling the pressure of Penn State going after their inside linebackers.
All right, Swanee, that's Derek Bonner down on the field, shaken up on the last play. It would appear that none of his appendages are damaged, though he's pointing to his right ankle. So apparently that's the problem.
Let's take a look at the first half offensive leaders for Michigan. Todd Collins played well, 99 yards. Wheatley ran for 72. Alexander had 4 catches for 48 yards. Alexander had the punt return for the touchdown. In the first half possessions, they had 5 of them. They really didn't do a lot after the first possession of 10 plays. As I mentioned, the touchdown that Michigan had was a punt return by Derek Alexander.
Eric Bonner is walking off the field, 4-year starter. Tough guy.
Yeah, he is a good football player.
1st and 10 for the Michigan Wolverines. The ball is placed on the 30-yard line. Todd Collins. Hands to Wheatley. And Wheatley will have 5. Ioka Jackson hosted that tackle. You can see Wheatley expressing himself walking back to the huddle. looking for some fire. Michigan's been a little flat.
After last week when he played Michigan State with that stunt 4-3 of George Perlis, he only gained 33 yards all day. Today he's got some running room and he's pretty excited about it.
Second down, 5. Wheatley again. Outside. There's the first down at the 44-yard line. Cliff Dingle making the tackle for Penn State. He's on the field in place of Derek Bonner. Number 46 we just saw there a moment ago is another great story for Penn State. Marlon Forbes, walk-on.
Yeah.
And by golly,
he was on a Navy ROTC scholarship.
Yeah. Kept at it and finally got the starting job. Cornerback. On first down, Todd Collins throws, pass caught by John Ritchie, the fullback. And Ritchie will get a first down at the 43-yard line of Penn State. Bill Yeboah Cody got it down. He's the junior from Montreal.
Take a look at Penn State defensively in the Big Ten. They lead the defensive categories 6 out of 7 of the total defensive categories. They are number 1. So this drive of Michigan going against a very good Penn State defense.
Bob Holmberg back. Ricky Powers, the deep man. And the offensive line surge with Powers carrying is pretty good. The offensive front for Michigan has played quite well today. Thank you.
Number 40, you see there, John Ritchie, the fullback from Michigan. He's from Pennsylvania, right around here. As you take a look at Tioka, number 97 right there, Jackson. Plays off of Jenkins, number 97. The thing about it, Keith, even when Penn State is making a play, they're still falling forward for 2 and 3 yards.
Todd Collins, 11 of 13 for 112 yards. He's hit 6 in a row for Michigan. Wheatley. And this time it's Ricky Powers, excuse me, and Tioka Jackson one more time. Tioka is from Forestville, Maryland. And as we said earlier in the first half, a very good defensive football player at 6'2", 265 pounds.
Well, Jackson is a defensive end, and sometimes colleges will list these guys as defensive tackles or nose tackles, and I think it just sounds better to him. He asked us to say, now be sure you list me as a defensive end, because a defensive tackle sometimes sounds like a big guy that can't move, you know, doesn't get any sacks. Tioka is a defensive end that rushes the passer.
Ricky Powers. And Gelsheiser makes the tackle on him. But Ricky Powers has a pretty good gain on that play all the way down to the Lions' 29-yard line. And the Wolverines may have something going here.
Well, we say he's a pass rusher. He gets upfield here. Terzell Jenkins, 97, just takes him out. The play went inside of him. Of course, his responsibility on that play was containment, and he certainly did turn the thing in. It's a linebacker's job to tackle, make the tackle inside.
Powers again never really got started. Sort of stumbled before he got to the line of scrimmage. Will pick up maybe 3 yards on the carry. And the Michigan offensive line doing a very good job in this possession against the Penn State defense.
Correct, Keith. Doing a nice job. Runyon, 69. 57 is Miller. Melia, the center, number 67, has been out the last 2 weeks with an injury, and having him back makes a big difference in the line calls. The center makes all of the calls and checkoffs at the line.
Jay Foster, the single back, has the ball. He doesn't get it all that many times, but he punches inside the 24. Derek Bonner has not returned to the lineup as yet at cornerback for Penn State after the ankle injury. Standing, however, on the sideline.
There's a look at Gelsheiser, number 16, the inside linebacker. He was a quarterback in high school. That's why he's got that number 16, but he is a linebacker. Brings back memories of Jim Kelly. When he came out of high school in Pennsylvania, they wanted to make him a linebacker.
3rd and 5, and Tyrone Wheatley back in there at the single back. Todd Collins. Pressure coming backside. Ball is knocked loose, and they're going to call it an incomplete forward pass. Woo, that's close. Eric Ramati, number 94, got his man that time.
Ravati comes around the outside, and they changed this rule a couple of years ago that if there is any doubt as to whether the arm was coming forward or whether it wasn't, that it was going to be an incomplete pass.
Well, the home folks are hooting and hollering about it. Sort of reminds me of that time when Paul McDonald left-handed one into the chest of Western Notre Dame. I defended the official that made the call, and they almost hung me in South Bend. This is man-sized, 41 yards for Elezovic. The holder is Remersma, quarterback.
Into some wind, too.
Wind's in his face. Penalty flag is down. Low line drive kick is no good. Let's see about the penalty. Going to be against Penn State. It was 4th and 5. Offside against Penn State.
Here's a look at the breeze. Pretty good breeze. It's going mostly, it's quartering, but it's coming, well, if anything, it's coming at the kicker. Question is that enough for a first down? Take a look at the bottom of your screen, Penn State. Well, I'll tell you, if that is a first down, that's like a turnover right there.
It certainly is. It is a first down.
Critical mistake right there.
I think it was Hammonds was trying to come in and get some pressure.
Well, in the last 2 weeks, Paterno's troops have blocked 2 kicks, and they have led to 10 points. So that time, they just got a little anxious.
So Wheatley is the single back as Michigan misses the field goal try, gets an offside penalty against Penn State to get a first down out of it. The ball is near the 18-yard line. They are not happy in Happy Valley. Wheatley is caught behind the line of scrimmage and down at the 20. Lou Benfatti made the tackle. The games next week on ABC's college football: Illinois, Michigan, and Fresno State, BYU. That's Big Ten and WAC. Then we will have other regional coverage for you. Some other games that will be announced on Monday.
What's happening here, Keith, is Collins is checking off a great deal on running plays, direction right or left. You can see him there turning around there. But down to this end, the noise is really bothering him.
Second down, at least 11. This is Wheatley. And they stop him at the 16. So they'll be looking at 3rd and about 8. I think with Jenkins in the ball game, number 77, Trezell Jenkins, the Michigan offensive front may be functioning just a little bit better. Of course, they've got Melia back this week, too. Rod Payne had to step in there last week.
I think Melia back at center is making a big difference as far as the line calls, Keith.
Eric Bana comes back into the ball game at his corner spot now. And he's got to get over there and play on the field side with his little ankle. And they're double wide on that side right now. And Collins is looking that way. Todd Collins lets it go, and it is
touchdown.
Touchdown, Mercury Hayes. I couldn't tell if he was in or if he was out. The man over there in the striped shirt said he was in.
Well, here he is here. He's going to go down and run to the corner, and I think the man that you were just talking about, Bana, is right here, and he's going to get beat to the corner. The outside man runs a little out to occupy the corner. The slot man, Hayes, runs an out pattern. That is Bana, number 35, who just came back in after that ankle injury.
Elezovic is in for the point. And it's good. And the the Michigan Wolverines, for the first time today, go to the lead by a score of 14-10. They go 80 yards in 14 plays, but they had a huge penalty break called against Penn State, an offside that gave them life on the first down.
You know, if life were perfect, women would let guys drink milk straight from the carton.
Yeah, and guys would ask before taking food off your plate.
Women wouldn't answer a question with a question.
Why not?
If things were perfect, you'd like watching sports on TV.
Yeah, and you'd let me hold the remote control.
Wow. At least there's Amstel-Lite.
It's only 95 calories.
But it still has a real imported flavor. I mean, it tastes great.
Amstel-Lite is better than Kraft.
It'd be perfect if you didn't always have the last word.
No, it wouldn't.
This is your life. This is your world. This is your chance. You gotta be there now.
Since Sprint is the only global phone company that offers everything, local, long distance, and cellular, it means with Sprint, no matter where you go, there you are.
Two summers, two winters, two springs, two falls. All this, just $2.99 a month. The S-Blazer 2-year lease. Why drive an imitation when you can drive the vehicle that originated the species? Chevy S-Blazer.
Scoring drive you see there, but as we noted, the biggest play in that drive really was that 4th and 5 offside call on Penn State. And I think if you go back and look at your tape, you'll find that Shelly Hammonds was offside.
Yeah, it was a good call. There's no doubt about it. But Penn State had stopped them. And it's like a turnover, like we said. That was an 80-yard drive, first drive of the second half for Michigan.
And they had missed the field goal try.
Oh, yes. That's big.
So Michigan leads 14-10. Hamilton kicks it off. Hammonds and Carter wait for it. Low liner under the wind into the end zone. No return on that one. Here's another look at the touchdown.
Hayes is number 9, the inside receiver. Outside receivers go to break out just to occupy the outside corner. Bonner, number 35, is just out of the picture to the right side right there. Ball's thrown a little late. It could have been there sooner. Nice catch. Fischel is there. Fischel is there doing his job. There's another look at it. There's the short receiver breaking out to occupy Forbes, number 46. Ball is thrown to the deep man. Is he in?
Yep.
Look at that. Nice call by the official. Knee
Close.
was down and
pretty close.
Possession of the ball. Yep.
He's in. This is Kajana Carter for Penn State. And Michigan gets him at about the 26-yard line. So give Kajana 6 yards on that carry. Lions trying to fight back now, down 14-10 with 5 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the third quarter. Keith Jackson, Bob Greasy, and Lynn Swan on this here telecast.
And if you wonder why Joe might have some gray hairs, is because of that last series. He had them stopped. They were going to go for the field goal. They missed the field goal. He jumps off sides, and then they get the touch out of it.
Carter hit behind the line of scrimmage. Turns it up for a couple of yards. In college football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest lasting trucks on the road. And the light beer with the great imported taste, Amstel Light. Right. Put Mike Archie in the backfield now, number 2.
Good receiver, Archie.
Kerry Collins lets it go. Archie catches. Greasy's right in the playbook again. Chuck Winter shoves him out of bounds.
There's a look at Lloyd Carr, defensive coordinator for University of Michigan. He's been trying everything this year to hold this defense together. As we mentioned, if you weren't with us at the beginning, 5 inside linebackers are hurt and out, including Steve Morrison, the leading tackler from last year and also this year before he was injured.
Freddie Scott, who comes from Southfield, Michigan, number 31, is in as a wideout, bottom of the picture. And Collins back, looks for him and lets it go. And he's got a chance at it, and a penalty flag. Called against number 22, Ty Law. Ty reached over, grabbed a hold of it. So the one that left home to play football at Penn State is involved in a big play for the Nittany Lions.
It's single coverage again. Michigan trying to stop the run with 10. You got a lot of one-on-one situations. Can't tell from there whether
interference on the defense. 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
The only thing that you might see there is the you can't see the left hand. I don't know where the left hand is. The left hand is not on him.
Well, it was earlier. It was earlier. He had him before that.
From those shots that we saw, it was hard to see if there was anything there, but
doesn't matter.
It's too late now, but every time they throw wide, they're getting one-on-one.
Rolls out, lets it go again. Got a man wide open, is tight end Kyle Brady. And Brady makes his second catch of the ball game down at the 31-yard line for a first down. So the pass interference call, 15-yard penalty on that. Now the completion to Brady. And the Nittany Lions are trying to respond to the Michigan touchdown.
Fran Ganner there on the left, the offensive coordinator. Joe will let him call the plays for a while, and then he say, well, let me take it over for a while. So you look at Florida out in front of Bowden, not Bobby, Terry. He'll get Bobby later on in the year.
Both those guys undefeated though. Florida and Auburn. This is Brian O'Neill, the fullback. And that's a loss on the play as Jarrett Irons, number 37, and Trevor Price, number 8, make the tackle. Tomorrow night on ABC, America's Funniest Hour, starting at 7, 6 Central Time. Then we'll see Superman, see whether or not he's met his match on Lois and Clark, the new adventures of Superman, and fall in love all over again. Julia Roberts and Richard Gere, Pretty Woman, Sunday night movie, tomorrow on ABC. And second down and 10. Collins better hurry. The ball is batted around, and it is incomplete and almost intercepted, and away we go to John Saunders.
Keith, you know Michigan and Penn State have their eyes on the Rose Bowl. How about Wisconsin? Darrell Bevel, 19 yards to Mark Montgomery. They lead Purdue 28-0. Bevel's 12th touchdown pass of the year, and they're undefeated. Keith.
But that's some tough guys coming down the highway in the near future. Mike Archie and Brian O'Neill. And Collins running and lets it fly, and it was late. And a penalty flag hit out of bounds. Ty Laws hit Chip LaBarca out of bounds, and I think they're going to get a personal foul call.
It looked to me like to be a very good call, too, like Law hit him before the ball even got there.
So Ty Law now has been flagged twice in this Penn State possession, and they've both been big plays.
Slip from behind the quarterback. That's Price, number 8, putting some pressure. Well, I couldn't really tell from that.
Pass interference on the defense. Spot foul. First down.
The official that called that play was probably the same one that made the call down in the end zone for the touchdown for Michigan. I'm not sure about that, but
he won't get a Christmas card from Ty Law. First down at the 22. This is Archie. Started again, and that second start got him about 4 yards. A total of about 6 on the carry.
Let's go back and take a look. See if we can see anything differently. It's really hard to tell. We didn't see the whole thing. The official was there.
Second down, call it 5. Archie. down. Good tough run by Mike Archie down to the 11-yard line. Michigan man shaken up. One of the defenders on that corner took a couple of hits, and he's still down. That's People, it looks like.
Take a look at the offensive line for Penn State. That's 81 is Brady blocking on Stanley. O'Neal out there, the fullback. Nice block by Brady. He's 256 pounds at 6'6". Blocking on Stanley, who's about 283. And the tight end won that one. How would you like to have a tight end weighing 256?
At the conclusion of the ball game today, as we have been doing for a quarter century, the Chevrolet most valuable players will be chosen from each team, with each university getting $1,000 from Chevrolet for its general scholarship fund. Time remaining in the third quarter, 2:24. Timeout for the injured player, and it's a 14-10 Michigan lead.
Before you buy a new car, consider the comfort. Consider the quiet. Consider the power. Consider the fit and the finish. But most importantly, before you buy a new car, consider these options. The Chevy S-Series, so new from the inside out. Everything else is history.
You know, if life were perfect, women wouldn't talk during the bottom of the night.
Yeah, and magazines would never smell like perfume.
No. See, if life were perfect, potato chips would cure hair loss. Dogs would walk themselves. And algebra, it would actually come in handy.
Well, hey, at least there's Amstel Light. It's only 95 calories.
Yeah, but it still has that real imported taste.
Nothing's missing. Amstel Light is a great beer.
Look, if life were perfect, you'd buy the next round.
All right, I'm buying.
You got a camera?
We're here at one of the world's tallest dams with Bob Rhodes. Bob, you're a traveler. You ever spend $70 for a motel room?
Yes, I do.
May I see your wallet, please?
Sure.
Thank you. Hey! Hey! Quite an echo. You know, Bob, if you're not staying at a Red Roof Inn, you're throwing your money away. As much as $30 a night.
Don't throw your money away. Hit the roof. Red Roof Inns. Call 1-800-THE-ROOF.
More to the left, Bob. No, my left.
The injury is to Matt Dyson, number 91. And the problem is his own teammate is going to come from the left side as this play develops and roll right into him. That's Henderson, 79. And those types of things are just going to happen sometimes in football. They just can't be avoided. He's walking off gingerly, but he's had problems all year, and he is one of their best players. He was an all Big Ten player last year.
That's a big loss for them to lose him.
Oh, yeah. They've lost those 5 inside linebackers.
Well,
and now
Steve Morrison, Marcus Walker, Dave DeBreth, Greg McThomas, and Nate Holden all gone.
Yeah.
Now Dyson. And it's first down, Penn State, 1st and 10. The ball is on the 11-yard line. Penn State, Mike Archie with the ball, breaks the corner to the goal line, but not in, just short. When you have 3 high-quality tailbacks, you get down to this point of the game, they show up, don't they?
You saw the conversation on the other side. Paterno's talking to Gantner and just saying, now listen, just don't do anything fancy. Just run it in. Even if it takes 2 or 3 plays, we got a first down. Don't take any chances. Easy handoffs. We just want the touchdown. Oh, yes.
So it's Brian O'Neill and Brian Milne, 2 fullbacks, with Archie, the tailback, in the lineup. And timeout. O'Neill and Kerry Collins were not on the same page. And Collins called a timeout.
Sometimes part of the problem is on the bench over there getting the play in too slowly or sending the substitutes in, and then by the time you get out there and get up to the line of scrimmage, you don't have that much time. So in deciding which play or which personnel, you use up all the clock.
1:39 left to play in the third quarter. Penn State with a threat here, sitting just inches away from the Michigan goal line. These are games that offers the ticket to the Rose Bowl. And the games as they come along. You see that on October 30, Penn State and Ohio State and Columbus. On the same day, Arizona and UCLA. That game could become enormous in the Pac-10. Then, of course, Michigan, Wisconsin with the Badgers undefeated. And then the 6th of November at Madison, Ohio State goes calling against Wisconsin.
Those yellow numbers on there are the rankings of the teams. Arizona does not play Washington this season.
Washington UCLA game is coming up later on some of your ABC stations and on pay-per-view in some areas of the country. All right. Penn State trying to regain the lead in this ball game. Collins on a quarterback sneak.
He almost didn't get that ball, Keith.
Right. Sure looked like he was reaching for it.
And I've said it before, what happens is the center ducks his rear end to go block, and the quarterback does a double take. Michigan defensive line, good surge there. This is all you want to do, straight ahead. Especially if it's first and goal on the one. You can do this again and give it to one of the backs straight ahead.
He didn't make it.
No, he's not moving anybody in there.
Nope.
You know, this is good, tough football, and this is what you expect from a guy that's been at the same school.
It's time for the big uglies, boys.
Yeah.
I mean,
If there was ever a big ugly game, this is it. Down in the trenches. The old paint swamping. You got some paint swapping on those helmets. Look at that. Yes, sir.
Jonah Carter is in the lineup now. Why didn't they give it to Mike Archie on the first down? He's the one who put him down there. They didn't. Now it's Carter over the top.
Now what do you do?
He's not in there either.
There's no question. You go for it on fourth, huh?
I would.
Although you haven't been close.
I don't have to be the loser either. Michigan's all pumped now.
You go for it on fourth. If you don't make it, at least you leave them down there on the 1 foot line. But I think this time I'd try something on the corner.
Yeah, I think I might have started.
I wouldn't pull anybody, but I'd try something on the corner.
John Whitman comes in now. He's the better blocker of the fullbacks. We run out of time in the third quarter. So we'll delay this drama for just a moment. Be back after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Ben and Connie Studebaker look at things differently since they became parents. I'm Roger Krull. I'm their State Farm agent. Having a family brought a lot of changes in their lives, so we thought it was a good idea to sit down and have a family insurance checkup. We started by adding to their life insurance protection. Then we went over all their family insurance to help make sure their coverage was up to date. After all, you never know what could happen.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Yeah, this is nice. Like the seats. Lots of room, that's good. Whoa, lots of room back there, too. Right, smooth. Real smooth. They must have fixed this road.
Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Even when it's just barely a road at all.
Is an amnesia victim marked for murder?
You suspect it. We don't know it.
Or are Walter and Gwen missing the boat? Moon over Miami, Wednesday.
When you call your health insurance, do you really have to be prepared for it?
Hello. If you know your extension and our chairman's birth date and are calling from a touch-tone phone, punch it all in now. Too slow. If you need to repeat the menu, press pound. You hit 0. If you need assistance, pound, pound. You missed, so pound star now. You pressed pound and you didn't pound star. Hello.
If your health insurance needs to put the care back in healthcare, call Total Healthcare. we never took it out.
Hey, you want to be in a commercial? No. Driving the Oldsmobile Bravada against Ford's Explorer. Don't be silly. You'll be showing how Bravada's all-wheel drive and traction control gives you superior traction in less than superior conditions. Sure, now the Bravada Special Edition costs over $4,000 less than the Ford Explorer Limited. As soon as we find someone to drive the Explorer, it's your money.
Pay a visit to Porky's tonight at 11:30.
Well, if you're from the old school and you come up the tough way, the hard way, you run the 2 plays inside with a quarterback sneak. I think that's right. Then you try and send the tailback over the top. I think that was the right call. And now, I think you go off the corner. You either roll your quarterback out. Dyson is back in, which is good news for Michigan. You roll your quarterback out to the wide side, which is left, and you got a right-handed quarterback, or you give it to your tailback off the corner, but you don't pull anybody out of the line because defensive men will run through.
Well, the ball was 6 inches away from the goal line. It is now a full yard away from the goal line. And you've got Brian O'Neill lined up with Brian Milne and Kadrona Carter.
Left tackle, right tackle.
Carter in the middle, didn't make it.
Great defense.
Did not make it.
Outstanding defense.
The Michigan defense would not yield. A defense that has been kicked around a goodly bit this year, but this time their mettle was tested and they were equal to the challenge.
94 is Horn. He's going to get in there. Nobody's going to block him. Right there, the man in the secondary took the fullback out. Right here, this man is going to come in, and nobody is going to block him. Watch to the right side of your screen. He just runs around the block. It's Stanley and Horn just to the right of your screen now. They were slanting. Michigan was slanting to the outside, and they guessed right.
The referee, Jim Kimling, has just thrown a flag. The clock never moved.
Illegal substitution, 12 men on the field, half the distance.
That doesn't mean much. The clock never moved on that 4th down play. It still shows 15 minutes on the game clock.
This is still a critical time right here now. I mean, Penn State still has, it's where the ball is, and you got them on the 1-yard line. Michigan needs to do something to get this ball out of there.
And it's not the 1-yard line. It's less than that. It's like just virtually touching the goal line after the penalty. They got to take some time here to adjust the clock because it had to use some time on that 4th down play. Penn State had 13 plays, no points. And the Michigan defense is really jacked right
Keith,
now.
let's take a look at this. Here are the 2 inside tackles. Now let me show you what they're going to do. They're going to slant to the outside. All the defensive men are going to slant outside, and the 2 linebackers are going to step up in the inside. Now what that does is, if you're trying to run the ball here, everybody's slanting to the outside, you miss half your blocks. So Lloyd Carr, defensive coordinator, was guessing they weren't going to run the quarterback sneak up the middle. If they would have run the ball up the middle before the linebackers got there, the quarterback would have been in. But that's what you guess on the out. You pinch some and you slant them out some. And that time he guessed right.
So they've run off 3 seconds on the clock. It is now 10-7. That game is being played at Auburn. Florida leading by 3.
Kansas State undefeated.
Yeah. All right, now we go. Todd Collins gives the ball to John Ritchie, and he maybe out near the 1-yard line.
He is a true freshman, and he is from right around here.
Yeah, Mechanicsburg.
Yeah, he was recruited very heavily by Penn State. Has some bunch of family and friends. He said he didn't expect them to be rooting for Michigan State, but Michigan. But Penn State was one of the schools he visited. Penn State wants to just hold him down here. At worst, force him to punt.
Slams out to the 3, so it'll be 3rd down, about 8. And Wheatley now on 21 carries has 101 yards. Ryan Monahan made that last tackle. Senior from Wexford, PA, number 36. Oh, it's actually closer to the 2, isn't it? Real estate through the middle has become very precious.
Yes, it has. This is key down here. If Penn State can stop them and force them to punt.
Give it to Wheatley. Cuts it back. And they do stop it. Just barely, but they stop it. Lee Rubin, the free safety, number 39.
Let's pause a second and look at the numbers after 3 quarters. Pretty much the same. Penn State has 8 more plays, 51-43, and a few more yards. No turnovers in the game, and the time of possession pretty much the same.
The Michigan punting team coming in. Stapleton has punted 4 times today. The last one was 66 yards, and that is his career long.
I mentioned Penn State has blocked 2 kicks in the last 2 weeks, 2 games.
Bobby Ingram is waiting. The wind is at the back of Stapleton.
Went for the return, no block.
Didn't get all of it. Ingram midfield. Pretty good coverage. Bobby gets back to the 39-yard line. 40-yard punt, 11-yard return. Now Penn State try again to regain the lead.
We were sitting around one day at the Seed Lab. We were local. Honda called me up. They were looking for somebody who had an established business to assemble some speakers. This is where it started.
And now we're at 40,000 square feet.
We send over 6,000 speakers a day to Honda, where they're installed in the 1994 Accord. In fact, it's really fun to look at the back of a Honda and say, hey, there's our speakers.
Honda, homegrown in Marysville, Ohio.
For the first time, there's a saw that combines a 12-amp motor, dust collection, and an auto brake. So there's no limit to what you can build. Introducing the Quantum Circular Saw, new from Black & Decker.
And now for some thin, different.
New Domino's Thin Crust Pizza. A crispy, crunchy crust pizza. It's a whole nother taste in a whole nother way. All right. Put that snap back in your life and always get
something for nothing when you call Domino's.
Random access memory. Really good. Now, once again,
megabytes, gigabytes,
terabytes.
At Compaq, we realized that learning about computers can be pretty intimidating. So we invented Presario, computers designed and priced to make it easier. They come loaded with all the software you need to get started right away. And they're backed by a 3-year warranty.
WYSIWYG.
So instead of sounding smart about computers, you can be smart about computers. The new Presario from Compaq.
4 of the world's finest golfers travel coast to coast in an unprecedented round of golf. Coverage of the Chrysler American Great 18 begins tomorrow on ABC.
Take a look at the quarterback comparisons. Both the Collinses, Todd on the left for Michigan, is 12 of 15 and 128 and a touchdown. Carey, 10 of 19 and 140. Pretty similar results.
On 1st and 10, Kerry Collins rolls out. He's got some people coming after him, and they chase him out of bounds just about the line of scrimmage. Bobby Powers would have none of it. Powers was right on his heels the whole time, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
So look at Bobby Powers.
What has Michigan done here in the 2nd half to shut down the Penn State running inside?
Well, Powers is playing better.
Stepped up, right?
And Irons, the other inside linebacker, has 10 tackles on the day.
So the alleged weakness of Michigan has not, it's gotten stronger as the game has gone on because of Irons and Powers stepping in. And throwing it this time, throw it to Brady, the tight end. Pickup is about 6 yards on the quick pop. Shante Peoples takes him down, the strong safety. Normally you'll find the strong safety shadowing the tight end.
Well, Keith, one of the other things you do is you blitz this linebacker. That was the linebacker, and he's going to pop the tight end right in the area where the linebacker, I think it was Powers this time. And Brady saw him blitz. So did Collins, and he popped him in the open area.
Mike Archie is in the backfield now. He's the man in motion. Throwing in this series, that ball is caught by Bobby Ingram, and he's got a first down. Only the dancing feet of Ingram carried him for the sufficient yardage to move the chain. He was in traffic.
That's the wide receiver screen with the lineman ducked in behind the lineman. But Keith, this is really take a look from behind. Watch the lineman on the left side. Pickett 79. They're all going downfield. Now look, whoa! He just dodged that defensive lineman that was coming back.
And so they move the chains, and on first down, this is Mike Archie. And Archie with another good tough run of about 8 or 9 yards. Puts it inside the 20 at the 17.
This drive is really a continuation of the one that got stopped a few minutes ago.
Absolutely.
Because Penn State defensively stopped Michigan on 3 downs, forced them to punt it. They took over on the 39-yard line of Michigan. Now they're just picking this drive up again.
I tell you what, though, I declare I'd keep using Mike Archie.
Well, he has the fresh legs. I think Carter in the first half kind of ran out of gas because he ran so much. Look at this.
That's Bobby Powers having to come off the field now. He's been very, very big in the second and third quarters at that inside linebacker position. He didn't want to come off. He's got 10 tackles. And there's Mike Archie. He's got it again. This time, Jason Horn searches him out and brings him down, and he did not permit the first down. So it'll be third and about, oh, that's at least a yard, almost a yard and a half. Ole Miss is next for Alabama, too.
Yeah.
Third down, at least one. Archie, first down. At the 14-yard line. He's a pounder.
Give credit to the offensive line, Hardings and Rivera on the strong side of that line. Number 50, as you see there, is Hardings, really the center.
Powers has had to come out again. Van der Beek is in. This is Archie to the 10 and inside the 10. So he picks up the better part of 5 yards on that carry.
Sometimes, Keith, it's easier as you take a look at Penn State rushing. Carter is 120. Archie now has picked up 42, a lot of that. But sometimes when you get inside the 20, it's easier to score the further away from the goal line that you are. So when you get closer, the choices are a lot shorter.
That's Milne carrying the ball there, and not much for him. He bangs into the middle and then surges to the left and trying to ride behind Rivera and Hardings. The ball is put now at the 8-yard line. They've got to go inside the 4 to get a first down. So they need at least 4 yards.
Some of that those offensive linemen, Hardings and Rivera, Malinowski.
Archie and Milne lined up behind Kerry Collins. That's Scott in motion. Pressure coming in there. He gets it away. And no flag in the end zone as Ingram is tangled up with Burt, and Ingram is screaming. And no call. And it's 4th down.
He was lucky to get this ball away as a blitz. The 2 men on the lower left are coming in, but watch Ingram and Birch.
You can face guard in college.
You certainly can. No foul there. Nice,
not catchable.
Nice no call by the official.
25-yard field goal try. Fayak missed from 25 in the first quarter. Made from 40. This one is good. Penn State can't get the touchdown, but they close the 1. It is now 14-13 with 8:51 to play.
More Americans trust Napa for everything they need to keep their vehicles running and to help them save, too. Get this Napa Power Battery for just $29.99 after rebate. An Evercraft 30-piece socket set is just $14.99. And a 3-pack of STP gas treatment is a low $1.99. So run into your nearest Napa Auto Parts store today.
We keep America running. We keep America running.
Honey, we're leaving in 10 minutes.
While virtual reality isn't quite here yet, the car is. The new Accord from Honda.
Tony and Diane get regular insurance checkups, just like they get regular medical checkups. I'm State Farm Agent Carlos Bermudez. I have been their State Farm agent 7 years. A family insurance checkup helps them make sure all their coverages are up to date. It's also a good time to explore options, like how their life insurance plan can be adapted to help with their daughter's college education. I think the family insurance checkup is something everybody can feel good about.
State Farm is there.
Craig Fayak, a senior from Bell Vernon, Pennsylvania, needs just 3 points to tie Lydell Mitchell as the all-time Penn State scorer. And he is this week's Honda Scholar Athlete. Brought to you by American Honda in its 6th season. Proud to support amateur athletics. Fayak, 3.52 GPA in English. Honda presenting a check of $3,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of Penn State University.
And if you need a disaster quarterback, Mr. Fayak can do that. He was talking with Fran Ganner earlier in the week. He said he could play quarterback for us.
So can Musillo. He worked out some.
The punter?
Yeah, both of them. 35-yard line for the kickoff. Alexander's number 1. He returned the punt for a touchdown earlier today. 14-13, Michigan leading. And that kick will go out of bounds. It'll come up to the 35. Michigan will have the ball. Now here. Let's go to John Saunders for an update on an injury, a big injury.
Keith, they need the MASH unit. Purdue's Matt Pike out of the game with a broken collarbone. Wisconsin's Darrell Bevel, who has 4 touchdown passes in the game. He's been taken to the hospital. A severe sprain on his ankle. Try and keep you updated. Wisconsin in command. 35-7 is the lead in the 3rd quarter. Keith.
But the Badgers need him.
They sure do. Been one of the real surprises. Been a lot of surprises in the Big Ten this year, with Michigan State being there. Indiana's doing well. Wisconsin.
Shea Foster and Tywone Wheatley line up now in the backfield for Michigan, leading by 1 point, 14-13. And they start this possession from their own 35-yard line, and Wheatley carries. Good blocking on the corner. And Wheatley's across the 40, and he'll get him up to about the 43. This is the best starting point for a Michigan possession today. Whoa. 14-10 Auburn.
Auburn has really had a weak schedule, but nothing weak about Florida.
Can't see them, though. They're on probation. They elected to take their penalty this year. No TV. Probably go 11-0. 10-1. Almost contact along the line of scrimmage. And Wheatley shakes off one man at the line of scrimmage. Just took his leg away and picks up the first down. Gelsheiser now has 14 tackles in the ball game.
He's a quarterback, ex-quarterback. You like to see that, you know.
Now, you quarterbacks are tough.
He's a leading tackler coming in. Mentioned earlier about Jim Kelly, and Joe Paterno, we had lunch with him yesterday, was telling us about he said, Joe, I mean, Jim, if you don't play quarterback, there's other positions. You could probably be a linebacker. He did well.
Ball is handed by Todd Collins to Tyrone Wheatley, and number 89, Eric Clare, is right there when the handoff occurred, and there's no gain. We haven't called the names of Jackson Clare and Ben Foddy a whole lot today, but as we said, there's a reason why at Penn State the linebackers get so many tackles. And normally the reasons are those three big dudes hunkered down in the trenches in front of them.
That is so true. And the premier position here at this defense is linebacker. It's like the old days at Southern Cal was the tailback.
Wheatley again. To the 5-yard line, Lee Rubin got just enough of his shirt, was able to hang on through all of his 190 pounds on his back and dragged him down. First and goal, Michigan at the Penn State 6, and this could be the marketplace right here.
Is this a big play? Michigan needed to do something. Of course, 39, Rubin is going to come and make the play, but watch the blocking ahead. Now, Wheatley doesn't get caught from behind very often. Watch Rubin, number 39. He's only 5'9". He's a short guy, but he is a tough hitter.
Wheatley's out, and Ed Davis is in at tailback. Give it to Davis. He comes off the bench ice cold, and they stick it in his hands. And he is brought down by Brian Monahan, number 36. Wheatley out getting a breather, 26 carries and 167 yards.
Watch the block of Foster, number 33, the fullback, on Dingle to help set it loose right there. Dingle was coming up, making the force. I bet Wheatley hasn't been caught from behind more than 2 or 3 times in his career. Hayes had a good block. But that was critical.
Second down and goal. The ball is right around the 7, and Todd Collins says something wrong here. I'm not paid to make these decisions. It goes straight to the coach. 6 minutes even to play in the game.
Presenting a luxury car that redefines your expectations of an automobile. It features dual airbags, power windows, mirrors, and door locks, and an AM/FM high-power stereo cassette, all standard. Introducing...
Excuse us. Are you talking about the Civic LX?
No.
Oh, sorry. It's just that it has all those features, too.
How nice.
The Civic LX from Honda.
Could you move the car now?
Now, the most advanced motor oil in Quaker State history comes with the biggest rebate in Quaker State history. Get a $4.20 cashback rebate on new advanced formula Quaker State. That's $4.20 cash back. Hurry, see your Quaker State retailer before November 30th.
Hitachi. They make, Oh, great shot. Now, what was I saying?
Hitachi makes camcorders and 20,000 other products worth celebrating. Hitachi.
Wouldn't it be great if you were stranded on a desert island with a beautiful woman named Betty? Cool. And while scouting the island, you were suddenly surrounded. You! But then, they noticed your shoes. You! Great one! Booga, booga! So they gave you gifts. Keystone, Keystone Light, and Keystone Dry. Specially lined for really smooth bottle beer taste and care! Quitting time! Wouldn't that be great?
All right. The clock was about to run out. That's why, more than anything else, Collins called his timeout there. Todd Collins. Now Michigan has the ball. 2nd down and goal. The ball is very near the 7-yard line. Tyrone Wheatley now is back in the lineup at the tailback position. Michigan 14-13 on the scoreboard and trying to add to it right here. Wheatley with the ball up the middle to the 5. Maybe just inside the 5. And they'll unwrap him and find Eric Clare with his arms wrapped around the legs of Tyrone Wheatley.
I'm sure that Moeller would have loved to have seen Wheatley score that touchdown when he was running free. That's why that tackle by Rubin, if he would have scored a touchdown, they'd been up by 8 points. Now he's still got to get it in there, and field goal puts him up by 4.
But a touchdown is almost a door slam.
But
they would have to get a touchdown and a 2 point.
But you don't want to lose the field goal by doing anything silly down here. But his field goal kickers missed twice today already.
3rd down. Pass thrown out to the fullback. Foster. Touchdown, Michigan.
Here's Foster right here. The tight end's going to go in here and take all the defenders with you. And right out here in the flat, going to fake it up the middle. The tight end takes 3 guys with him. That's a hell of a call right there.
Elezovic for the point. Good. You've got 5 minutes and 12 seconds to play in the game. Michigan leads by
8. So you're actually putting money away.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I've changed. Especially since the baby.
Dad'd be real proud. So what do you have your savings in?
I have in savings.
What kind of savings?
In a bank.
Want to do me a favor? Talk to my broker, Payne Weber. You can probably manage that money a lot better than the bank.
This is my savings we're talking about here. I mean, how's a broker supposed to know what I need?
He'll ask.
Save right now. Buy 3 Goodyear tires at the regular price, get the 4th tire free. That's right. Buy any 3 of these Goodyear tires at the regular price and get the 4th free. 4 for 3 now. Hurry, savings end soon.
She says she left her lights on all day.
Who gives you free emergency service if your battery ever needs a jump start? You're all set now. The Die Hard. Only at Sears, we're driven to satisfy. The interior of the new Honda Accord creates an open environment. It's roomy and comfortable and available in fine leather. The reinforced body is insulated to be quieter than ever. When you consider everything the new Accord has to offer, it becomes an open and shut case. The new Accord EX from Honda.
It's a happy sideline for the guys wearing white. Shea Foster's the man who caught the touchdown pass, and Michigan will kick it off now to Penn State. Penn State will have Shelly Hammonds and Kajana Carter as the deep people. Hammonds was involved in a most critical play in which Michigan took the lead. They caught him offsides instead of a missed field goal on 4th down. All of a sudden, Michigan got a 1st down and stuck it in the end zone.
You know, he wants to do something to make up for that. These 2 guys are dangerous back here running this kickoff back.
Well, the ball keeps blowing off the tee. That's the 3rd time it's happened, and with 5:12 to play in the ball game now, there'll probably somebody come over, Walter Smith come over and hold it. Wind is at the back of Michigan. Penn State undefeated coming into this ball game with a record of 5-0. Michigan 3-2 coming off a loss at Michigan State last week. But if they can win this game, they may save a season.
The touchdown pass to Foster, Shea Foster, that touchdown pass was his 1st of the season and only his 3rd catch of the year. That may be why he was so wide open.
All right, here's the high kick carrying. The Wind's got it back into the end zone. No return. Out to the 20 to come, first down.
Let's go back and take a look at the series when Penn State could not get in. This is a first play. The defensive line is pinching. Quarterback sneak, no gain. Defensive line is pinching in. Everybody's in tight. Again, quarterback sneak, no gain. Third play, give it to the tailback. The defensive line, again, everybody's pinching, no gain. Now, the first play of the fourth quarter, the line goes out, the two linebackers step in, and because the line was slanting out, there were several missed blocks, and Penn State didn't score. They did come back the next series and get a field goal, but no touchdown.
Now Kerry Collins pitches outside to Kajana Carter. And Carter is up to the 26-yard line. Second down and 4 coming up. But the point is, Bob, the Michigan defense, which has been a soft spot on the team, has truly, surely stepped up today.
It's a big point, Keith. If Michigan goes on to win this game and Dyson is back on the field, it'll be because of that defensive stand down there on the goal line.
And it may carry him the rest of the season.
We talked about at the beginning, this was going to be a character check for Michigan.
Kerry Collins down the middle. Big guy. Brady catches. First down at the 42. The game's coming up behind our game. The bottom half of the doubleheader, if you will. These are regional telecasts. Big Ten in the first one. SEC second one. Pac-10 the third one. And down at the bottom in the Big 8, a big ball game with Colorado and Oklahoma. There have been no turnovers so far today. On first down, Kerry Collins to the sidelines, and it is off the hands of Justin Williams, number 27. He had a man short of Williams. He chose Williams, and he couldn't get to him. I don't know, that wind may be strong enough to be affecting a ball thrown in that direction because the flags are just stiff.
They are at the top of the stadium, and whenever somebody kicks off from left to right into the wind, it's always been a squib kick.
4 minutes and 22 seconds to play in the ball game. 21-13, Michigan leading. Ball is at the 42 for Penn State. Man turned upfield, got away with it. Pass is thrown to Bobby Ingram, and it's incomplete. Swanee, how does the wind feel to you on the sidelines right now?
Well, the wind's blowing right into the Penn State offense, Keith, and sometimes it'll change direction and be blowing from left to right, so it can definitely affect a pass thrown on the line to the sideline.
3rd and 10 coming up. The last 2 passes by Kerry Collins have not been very pretty.
And he's going into that breeze, whatever, you know, a consistent wind is not bad, but when it swirls, it's tough.
Throws to the sidelines. That won't get it done, though. That's only a 5-yard pickup. He threw it all the way across the field to Chip LaBarca, and it's 4th down and 5. Does he go here? 4 minutes and 10 seconds, or do they punt it here?
No, it's too soon. You got to punt it here.
Musillo's 4th kick of the day. And Eric Alexander counting people. He wants all the help he can get. Wynn grabbed that ball, and it takes a straight sideways bounce and trickles out of bounds at about the 21-yard line. College football on ABC Sports has been brought to you by American Honda, who's been making quality cars in America for the past 10 years. State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Napa. We keep America running. And Effidac 24, the first cold tablet for consistent 24-hour relief. So put it on the 20 now for Michigan. And all they want to do is fiddle around, fall down, pick up a first down.
First down.
Fiddle around, pick up a first down. They need 3, and they could probably run out the clock. Well, there's one. Tyrone Wheatley crosses the 35 and gets to the 36. A 16-yard pickup for Wheatley. Cliff Dingle, the tackle, and here's Lynn again.
Well, Keith, when we started the ball game, one of the stories was this sod field that was rolled in just 3 weeks ago, and throughout this ball game it has held up tremendously well. Every once in a while, when a player makes a cut on what is a seam, it lifts up just a bit. But as you can look at this field, it's in great shape.
Wheatley stays in. He's been the big gun today again for the Wolverines. Got it again to the 40. That's about a 3.5–4 yard pickup. Clock trucking along at 3:20 to play in the game. 21-13 Michigan. And Florida has come back to lead Auburn 20-14. There was a field goal and a missed extra point there.
Both teams have 2 timeouts left.
Well, I guess they kicked the punt to make it 20. Wheatley. Yeah. That's his very simple old basic philosophy right here. When you've got a good horse, ride him. And that's what they're doing. Time permitting, we'll have the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report for you with scores and highlights. And the clock continues to run, 2:35. They'll need another, maybe 2 more first downs in order to seal the clock. Ed Davis and Shea Foster in the backfield. 2:20. Home folks restless. They want to see their team with the ball. Here comes Davis. Fresh legs. First down, Michigan at the 45-yard line. So move the chains. The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are Tyrone Wheatley, 29 carries on 190 yards, and there's still some time left. Ryan Gelsheiser, 14 tackles for Penn State. He's played a Super Bowl game. And with the ball resting at the 45 of Penn State, a timeout is charged to Michigan as Sean Miller is shaken up, and the left guard has to come out.
That offensive line of Michigan, we said coming in it would be critical going against the Penn State line. They've answered the questions about that, and Gary Moeller with what I think an outstanding call down here, Keith. The touchdown pass to Shea Foster, only his 3rd reception of the year, forced Penn State to go for a touchdown and not a field goal.
Hand it to the big guy, Foster, the fullback. He's a 240-pound sophomore, and he's down close to the 40-yard line. And now Penn State's going to have to start spending their times out. They've got 1 left and 1:43 to play in the game. Wisconsin winning big, but their quarterback has a severe ankle sprain.
So they're undefeated in the Big Ten. You got to look at them.
Illinois is beating Iowa, and Illinois goes to Ann Arbor. And Illinois is always poison, it seems, for Michigan.
This could be like a few years ago when 3 or 4 or 5 teams tied for the Big Ten championship. Michigan goes on to win this game. Penn State will have one, and then, of course, Ohio State will be sitting pretty undefeated. Michigan State was undefeated, as was Wisconsin. Here we are right here, coming into today.
Well, Penn State will, unless something terribly dramatic happens, will drop with a loss. Ohio State playing Michigan State later. They're in for a pretty good fight. Wisconsin's going to win. They're going to be 3-0. We know that. So either Ohio State or Michigan State, their numbers will change before the supper table for them.
Well, as we said, Michigan had their backs to the wall. This was a critical game. They had to win to stay in the race. They've done that. Penn State with a loss is not out of the race, and Wisconsin going to 3-0 is has their tougher games ahead of them.
This is Davis carrying, a sophomore from Detroit. He's at the 38-yard line. Tyrone Wheatley is on the sidelines right now. He has 190 yards in the ball game today. The last Division 1A player to rush for 200 yards in a ball game was what Bobby Humphrey in 1987 versus Penn State.
You got to give credit to that offensive line. Runyon, Miller, Melia, Marinero, and Sullivan, and also Jenkins.
So the Nittany Lions, as you see, your top 10, and they're going to probably tumble out of the top 10, depending on what happens in the games behind. Not necessarily, but they're certainly about to absorb their first loss.
In talking with Paterno yesterday, he said, you know, we don't know about our team. You know, we've played some teams. We're stepping up a notch in caliber to play Michigan. They really didn't know how good a team they had, but I'd say they look very much like a Big Ten team right here. Tough, physical, you know, defense, run the ball, special teams.
96,719 people came to see it, and they saw a good old-fashioned hit 'em hard, knock 'em down game, I'll tell you. Wheatley is back in the lineup. It is 3rd down and 3. Todd Collins gives it to Wheatley. He cuts it back into traffic, goes for the marker, and he's close, but he's not quite there. So it'll be 4th, I think, and half a yard. Penn State has used its last timeout. They don't have any more, so they can't stop the clock anymore. It is 4th down and a short 1, and Michigan will probably go for it. And if they get it, that will surely seal it as the clock continues to tick away.
I think it's a good call, Keith.
Oh, I do too.
I think it's a good call going for it. You're going to turn the ball over if you punt it. You may not if you run for it. If you don't make it, the field position's not that bad.
Made it or not. It was Wheatley carrying, and the clock now will stop at 52 seconds. Penn State say they didn't make it, and so does Jim Kimmerling. That makes it official, and so Penn State will get a final chance. So Michigan failed to pick up that 1 yard they needed there.
This game is not over. I mean, they're down 8 points. They have 52 seconds and no timeouts. Now remember, in college football, on a 1st down, the clock does stop until they move the chains, and then it starts again.
Carey, sideline. He had a 1st down. He is rolled backwards. They're going to give him the initial contact.
Ball came out, didn't it?
Ball came out, I thought. But the official came over and marked it.
Incomplete.
And it's an incomplete forward pass.
Both quarterbacks, the Collins boys, have thrown the ball very well. This ball is right on target. That looks like a completion to me and a fumble. Couldn't see, though, from the other side. He may have been juggling it.
The ball is on the 35. And it's 2nd down and 10. So the Penn State Nittany Lions need a miracle with 40 seconds. Clock ticking. Pass is thrown to Brady. Brady is well short of the 1st down and still inbounds, and the clock will continue to run.
You can't be throwing the ball to your tight end in the middle of the field in this situation.
Nope. That'll be a 1st down. The pass is caught by Stephen Pitts out of the backfield. So that should move the chain. And it also stops the clock with 18 seconds to play.
We showed you a graphic earlier. Penn State is last in the conference in passing the football. They came in averaging 157 yards a game. That doesn't mean you can't throw it. They just prefer to run it.
Collins steps away from the pressure, lets it go, and it is intercepted by Shante People. And he sits down at the 25. And that will do it. So the Nittany Lions will lose their first of the year. Michigan will go to 4-2 and stay very much in the race to the Rose Bowl. And 96,719 new record crowd watched the game, and now they start to file away as those of you at home look ahead to the games that are coming next in your area. And all very, very important games, just as important as this one. Probably will be just as good as this one has been. It was a good, tough football game. So the final moments will tick away with Michigan defeating Penn State by a score of 21-13.
A promotional fee has been paid to ABC Sports by United Airlines. All across the Pacific, they're playing our song. Come fly the airline that's uniting the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
Two pretty women, two great love stories, one funny romantic weekend. First, on Saturday, Billy Crystal, Meg Ryan, When Harry Met Sally. Then on Sunday, Julia Roberts and Richard Gere in Pretty Woman.
Holy cow!
When Harry Met Sally Saturday, Pretty Woman Sunday. It's one funny romantic weekend.
So, you want a car that's fun. Problem is, your funds are, well, you get the picture. An excellent reason to check out the sporty Dodge Shadow ES. This one has features like air conditioning and AM/FM cassette, and it looks great too. All for a very reasonable price. Dodge Shadow ES. Unlimited fun. For limited funds.
See your Southeast Michigan Dodge dealer today. We know how